only take one attack action a round. You have 3 action points, but you can only take 1 attack action a round.
Okay.
That is by design. They tried having more than 1 attack action a round, and they actually found it made combat really boring. So the encouragement is to move around and use special actions and do, like, come up with stuff to do, rather than just like stand in the same place and try to bludgeon everything, especially considering combat gets really nasty really fast.
Take cover.
We did a one shot yesterday, and Juce's character down at the bottom was hanging on by a goddamn thread at the end of that. Hey. Yeah.
Honestly, my 3 AP at the beginning of every round is more than likely going to be loading my pistol, because it takes 3 AP to load my pistol.
Pistol loads is one of those things that takes.
So it's like, okay, it starts, I load, then my turn, I can actually use it instead of preparing to use it.
I totally blanked on this. I don't have a cool overlay thing for it because, like, you know, Encounter Roleplay has it, but we don't. The fortune points. Does anyone have a special thing that gives them an extra fortune point? I feel like somebody did.
I want to say I do, but it could be wrong.
You do?
For some reason, yeah. For some reason,
essentially,
I'm thinking I do.
Each of you gets 1 fortune point. They all go into a pool. So you guys can, the way I do it on stream without the bowl of tokens or the symbols on screen is you have a fortune point. Each of you individually has a fortune point. You can choose it to use it yourself or give it to somebody else to re-roll a test.
Oh, wait, I've got it as fate points.
Oh, is it fate points? I think so. I'm slipping into 4th edition Warhammer.
No, I do have an extra one. I forget why, but I have.
Yeah. So you guys have
like the downside, I think.
Yeah, I think it's my deal with the double.
Yeah.
So I have that too then.
You guys can gift them to other players or keep them for yourself. When you use one of them, however, it then goes to me and I get the ability to re-roll something going forward.
Okay.
So you use it to re-roll, but then you give it to me to re-roll.
Okay.
So it comes back around. If you've ever seen any of the Zweihander adventures, Susie has done some wonderful things to players with them. But also they're really useful. Like,
is it the fate points, or is
those are the coins that they put up on the screen that flip over?
Yeah. There's fate points, and then there's the whatever the other thing what we're talking about right now. Yeah.
Okay, so those are 2 separate things.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting crossed up. But yeah, so each of you gets one of those, and then fate points are a different thing.
Hey, Lydia.
What's going on? Oh man.
Funny.
See, this is not us being live. These are the voices of the gods speaking to you directly. Give us all your money.
All the money.
All the money, please. Thank you very much. You will receive eternal damnation.
Ask this on to 10 people.
Oops, that was not.
It's like we're on.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. I am Tom TP Grant, and I am running things tonight. Juce is completely behind the scenes. I guess he can still cut me off, but I'm pretty much in control. So this is fantastic. We have an awesome cast here today from the Encounter Roleplay Discord. We are doing another night of Zweihander. I'm going to be running the Corrupted Jungle, a product from the Grim and Perilous Library. This is prepared for us, or the original adventure is written by Peter Rudenbergis, and I probably butchered his name, so I apologize, Peter. And it is a series of different things that you can assemble into your own little mini campaign. And I'm really excited to take this and put it into what is a burgeoning idea in my head of a homebrewed world for Zweihander. So before we introduce characters, let's just really quickly go around and introduce the cast, who you are, if we can find you on social media and all that, and then we'll get into the story and introduce characters. So let's start with Lydia. Lydia, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Lydia, the resident Scots-Strain and the only not American in this cast, which we found out the hard way earlier on, but that's all right. I am mostly found on Encounter Roleplay, where I'm doing tech behind the scenes and, you know, just there all the time. And you can find me under Half-Arsed Hermit on Twitter and everywhere else. I DM in the Southbridge Vaults in Edinburgh, when we're being let out again. And that's mostly me. You also find me on Encounter Roleplay with a D&D mini campaign next month.
Outstanding. Moving on, Chai.
Hi, I'm Chai. I am on Twitter at Girly Chai. I don't do much in the way of streaming just yet, but I have popped in here and there on a few different people's channels, including February's Meat Grinder on Encounter Roleplay. And that's about it. I talk a bunch of D&D and nonsense, and that is scream at the juicy fruits is what I do.
Outstanding. Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Steve. On Twitter, I am Steve Schwa, SCHWA 91. I'm sometimes on Encounter Roleplay, but mostly I play over on Mimics and Monstrosities on Sunday evenings, where we play Descent into Avernus, where I play a tiefling artificer, which is going okay for descents into hell as they go. So
I've heard that module. I haven't played it. Is super deadly.
It is. Oh, we already had one person go down.
Yeah, I have the book, but I use it mainly for Baldur's Gate lore and nothing else. But yeah.
That's fair.
All right, moving over to Justin.
Hey everybody, I'm Justin. I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitter. I'm Doc Rimbo in chat streams of your favorite role-playing games online, just lurking and making stupid dad jokes. And where else? I also was in the recent Meat Grinders in February and March on ERP. And man, I was running a ton of games in person, but now I just play them all online. And it's great. I have all the time in the world. It's terrific. So that's me.
All right, and last but not least, Tellen, go for it.
Well, I'm Tellen. You can find me pretty much on Tellen Snake. That's where I have most of my stuff. Twitch, that sort of thing. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm fairly new to this whole thing, and this is my first time actually streaming tabletop role-playing games, which I've loved my entire life. So I'm excited.
All right, outstanding. As previously said, this Friday we drew from the Encounter Roleplay Discord, where I am a mod. Last Friday we did entirely from the Master of the Game Discord, and this is, I think, everybody here that your first time playing Zweihander.
Yeah.
This is my second time DMing it, so bear with us, and we're gonna get stuff wrong, but we're gonna have fun, and that's pretty much the main point anyway. So we're gonna go through it, and if we have time at the end, we will maybe do a little recap about everyone's feelings about the system and your experience first time playing it through and all that good stuff. So, all right, let's pick up. Everybody here is on the ship, the White Shadow, sailing out of Velvia, a smaller city with a little bit of a raucous reputation. It's on the general peninsula known as the Tutorian Peninsula. And you've all left sailing south along one of the great southern trade routes, heading towards a fairly major port city. You've been at sea for some time, and there's, generally speaking, this is a chartered ship. It has been especially the purpose of it was to transport one particular person, and the captain has brought on additional cargo, additional passengers to turn more of a profit on his journey. But this is entirely centered around a singular person, the Contessa Cervo Negro. She has been completely absent in this journey. She has not left her cabin once. Nobody has seen her. And the ship has sailed on. It has now been 2 weeks at sea, and it has been a full week since you've seen land. Not stopping at any of the usual stops, though. If none of you are sailors, none of you would know what the usual stops are. And you've been at sea for quite some time. It's starting to get a little arduous. You're feeling a little shut in. I know all of you are gonna have to really feeling at the moment. You're feeling a little shut in. So let's now go around and introduce our characters, starting with and if I pronounce your character terribly wrong, please tell me. Galathea.
But
Galathea.
she's heard it all. You will find Galathea wistfully looking into the waves, as she has been on the ship to find herself a new husband. Let's be honest. World out there is quite hard for a widowed woman of her upbringing, and after her dear Angus, bless his heart, passed away a few months ago, she's realized that the books were not as well kept as Angus had claimed they were. And the fortune that they'd amassed, she was sure, as envoys mostly and diplomats, that fortune didn't last very long. So she really has no other choice but to look for a new partner. The thing is, while she was recommended by many friends and socialites back home, a ship like this, a journey like this, would be a wonderful place to, be locked in with each other so they can't escape. Find herself a new partner. The nobility that is on board is less than forthcoming. And many of them are hiding in their cabins, and they stay amongst themselves, and they're generally quite rude. Especially that person, what's her name? The important one. She's
the
never
Contessa.
Contessa, yes. She's never shown her face, and that's just unheard of. I used to be in the best houses and speak with the best people and be invited to the best parties, and I'm here drinking rum next to a couple of very smelly, but actually very interesting characters. There's apparently pit fighters on board. I've never heard of such a thing, but quite strange. Oh well. She takes a big sip and
of her double ration rum, correct?
Of her double ration rum,
Yeah.
because fuck yeah, it's that kind
Paid
of night.
extra for that.
And she stares wistfully towards the horizon.
All right, Nyx.
Nixel Cloud Runner is a very, very small, middle-aged halfling woman. She's got an eye patch and a very large poof of curly silver hair. And she walks a bit bow-legged, but, she gets around all right. She's got her leathers on, and she's just been kind of hanging out, keeping, ears out, listening for what other people are talking about, trying to get some information, see where she might be able to help other people, get things that they might need and might have trouble obtaining. Sometimes what you want is just not readily available on the shelf, which is why she is on this boat to begin with. She's got to go pick up an item for a customer, and she could take her own boat or whatever, but she prefers to hitch a ride on someone else's boat and talk with the people and see if she can help out and maybe drum up some extra business and stuff. Pick up some odds and ends for the family import business. If anyone asks, at least that's what she'll tell them. She's got all the appropriate paperwork, so no one would question it, right?
Exactly. I mean, you're an accommodator. When people need things, you bring them to them.
Yeah, I am providing a service to people
Exactly.
in need.
Right.
And
You pick
sometimes
up
I have to
where-
go pick up the goods. Sometimes I'm delivering a package to someone far, far away that they just can't quite come and get it themselves.
You pick up where the legitimate supply chains leave off.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sometimes.
Saint, really.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
saint.
So selfless.
Dontail.
Cheers.
All right. So I'm Dontail. Bit in between jobs at the moment. I am a young woman, slender, got dark hair, kind of on the buff side, and I was referred to as a Grendel in Zweihander. Grendel being kind of a satyr-like beast folk. So she has, kind of leather duds and a little bit of a battle skirt, if that makes any sense. But she's also got hooves and digigrade feet. She got two little horns that kind of curve along the back of her head. She's a little cranky because she was a pit fighter in the last dock the ship was in, and she was asked to take a dive for some dumbass ogre who had more ambitions than brains. And of course, I cannot abide by that. Dontail cannot abide by that. So rather than getting both pairs of knees broke, she decided to essentially allow herself to get press ganged into the first ship out of dock, which happened to be this one. So she's basically, while the burgers and the highborn are sipping their rum and getting their double rations, she's off scrubbing the poop decks and just making sure everything is ship shape. And the only thing that might give her away might be a scroll that's kind of pressed in with a stamp that's attached to her leather armor.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And just put up with one journey being press ganged and you're away from the law. Speaking of
In this
law,
economy?
Goldie.
So watching Dontail scrub the poop deck with great interest is a large gentleman. He's about 6 feet tall, and he is, we'll say, nearing 300 pounds. And he is sitting in the closest possible seat because he loves to sit, and probably not too far away from Nix, who's a former professional contact of his. And his name is Rother Goldman, but everyone calls him Goldie. And Goldie, like Nix, provides a service and helps people who are lost and brings them back to where they belong. In particular, and unbeknownst to some folks on this ship, he's recently been hired by an ogre to bring back this pit fighter who was supposed to take a dive and didn't. And he'll get paid money for that, but really just, justice. He's after justice. But he's a friendly guy, and often when it comes down to it, he'll cut a deal with the people he's sent after, and everyone comes out ahead. And in general, he's friendly, and he's quick with a long bow, and he has this dark ebony obsidian skin and wavy chestnut hair. He's an unusual looking dude, but so is Nix, and that's maybe why they're friends.
Outstanding. And Janik.
Janik would be described as kind of a dunce. He thinks that he is grander than he actually is. Coming from nobility, his family kicked him out for being just so dumb. I mean, he really means well, and he wants to get back in the good graces of his friends. So he's on the ship on this pleasure cruise or what have you to find his friends, his kin, and convince them that he's still part of the nobility, even though he pretty much has no title or money or anything to speak of anymore, honestly.
You're making it on your own, which is more than most nobility children can say, right?
This is true, and honestly, he he kind of sits and just stands on the main deck and looks at the nobility and goes, I know. I know you.
I know all
me.
of you.
I
know which of you have a laudanum problem. I can tell.
Which is most of you, honestly.
Most of them. So this rather unique group of people, you've been trapped on this ship for 14 days. On the 14th day, land is sighted for the first time. It's a pretty large patch of land. It's likely the continent that has no name yet, as I haven't made up one for it yet. That is associated with the southern trade route. And you were sailing parallel to it, and no settlements are spotted, no attempt to turn towards it. The excitement of sighting land quickly fades, and it makes the boredom that much more intense. And as night falls, no one's really ready to turn in for the night when darkness settles. So many of you find yourself on the deck of the ship as darkness sets in and a just clear night of stars begins to open up. Just perfect view of all the constellations, all the stars. Both moons are clearly in the sky. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous night. So you guys have your rations of rum, and the third shift of the crew is starting to take over, and they're starting to man their post. What are you all doing? And we'll start over with I'm going to mispronounce her name again, Lydia. So run it by
say
me.
Gala, and we'll be fine.
Gala.
Gala. Friends can call me Gala, dear. You're fine. Gala will swig not all of the rum because she has some form of dignity left. But she spent quite a lot of time standing there, and the old injury is plaguing her a little bit. So she looks around for options to sit down and sees a fairly portly gentleman sitting on one of the benches and looking at the stars. And she walks over. You can see her fairly frail, tall personage with a black walking cane. She's heavily leaning on as she limps over to you and says, "Is this sea taken, my good sir?"
And Goldie he was lost, sort of like in the sea breeze, in the stars. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. No, please, have a seat right here next to me. I was just enjoying the breeze coming off of the water."
Thank you, so kind of you. It is a lovely evening, is it not?
It certainly is. One of several. We've been on this boat for quite some time.
Too long. It's been an interesting journey. I thought it would be a little bit more entertainment provided to the passengers, to be perfectly honest. I'm sorry, I never asked your name. I am Galathea.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Galathea. My name is Goldie to my friends, and so you don't need to learn the rest of it. Just Goldie is fine.
You know what? You may call me Gala.
It's lovely to meet you. You are, if you don't mind me saying, a bit fancier than most of the other folks on this ship. I wouldn't blame you for being disappointed at the accommodations.
Well, I will not deny that I used to travel in some form of style, but alas, I am widowed, and my husband has taken most of our means to his grave.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't want to accost you with my
oh
lights.
no, ma'am, no. Of course, I'm a friendly ear for whoever wants to bend it.
No, you see, I felt like different horizons would do me well. It's certainly disappointing that my former friends and associates of the higher society have cast me aside as quickly as they have. And she takes a big swig out of the rum. You can see parts of her red hair, which are quite neatly done back, a little grey strand as well, because she is a little bit older, are sort of, she comes back falling into her face, and she quickly rights herself. Where are my manners? Would you like some of these wonderful rations? they've been giving us.
Well, I don't say no to a gift of rum. I'll have a sip, sure.
As you're speaking, a woman approaches with very deep, rich brown skin, a shaved head with ornate tattoos, and you recognize Captain Ashley swinging by, now off duty, and she says, yes. How is everybody doing here? I see you're all having a drink. She kind of like, how are all of our passengers doing?
Well, ahoy, Captain. We were just speaking about travel and how they can change our perspective on things. This is Miss Galathea. Have you met her?
I have not. Miss Galathea, it's a pleasure to meet you. And she...
It's wonderful to see you, and you're so kind of you to check in with your passengers.
Are you all doing well? I know we've been at sea for quite some time.
I was thinking about asking you something along those lines. I'm surprised we haven't turned in toward port yet. I do have matters to attend to on land. Is there any news as to when we might be making landfall?
Unfortunately, our patron is insisting on a direct trip. She kind of looks irritated for a moment. We took on extra water and rations and rum, of course, to make a straight line trip without any stops. It's not going to be a problem logistically. It's just, I think some of our passengers are not so used to being at sea for this long. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, can I scrutinize this to see if there's a little bit more than she lets on? Because she seems quite transparent, but you know.
Absolutely, go ahead and make a scrutinize test.
That is, I have a dot in that as well.
All right, so.
And 2 dots, that is, so that's a 6 or a 9. That is a 9. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad because I need to be under, right?
Yeah, all you need to do is be under.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous because it's like a 60.
You could give me that reroll right away, if you wanted.
Yeah,
it's a possibility.
No, she seems very genuine. Maybe a little irritated, but pretty genuine. And she kind of turns back and looks at the sky and all the stars. She goes, I don't mind though. She goes, I don't mind being at sea. Sea's my wife.
Well, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I don't mind either, as long as there's as much rum as you say there is.
We'll probably be at sea another month, or not another month, another week. About the wind's been with us, and we've been making pretty good time. So I would maybe 5-6 more days.
Your wife really does not want to let you go.
And she looks out at the sea and she says, she's a possessive, tempestuous bitch, but I like her.
Dear.
Everybody has a type.
Hey, Captain, while I have you here, may it be a little bit indiscreet?
Please.
The passenger you just spoke of.
Yes.
I have not seen them at all.
Come to think of it, I have not either.
She's the reclusive type.
Is there something we should be worried about?
I don't think so. I mean, we worked out a deal. She wore, she had a black veil on. I didn't actually ever see her face, but
is she a widow too?
Potentially.
Perhaps she's grieving.
She was on her own with just a few attendants, but I mean, she worked out this deal quite easily, provided an ample amount of money, and she didn't even try to negotiate me down. She goes, I'm making a great, in fact, and she just like waves someone over and she goes, extra ration of rum for these two.
Oh,
she goes, I'm making a killing on this journey, so I'm perfectly happy to do it all.
That doesn't strike you as unusual?
Yeah, occasionally you get these rich types that just want to throw money at you, and I've learned, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
their money.
I
to
started
spend.
slipping into like a southern thing just because Golden's
What do you
here.
mean? It's contagious.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, if they have the money, they might as well spend it. Those are
I
the days.
suppose. Appreciate the kindness, though. If you'll excuse me, Miss Galote, I think I am going to turn in for the evening. And he hoists himself up and just sort of I'm going to retire to my cabin, if that's all right with you, Captain.
Oh, of course. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the morning.
Galathea looks a little bit like, oh, we were just about to start talking, and you can sort of tell she's been missing social contact. She's always been very, very used to being a butterfly of it's a social thing, a social butterfly thing, isn't it? It's a term, and she hasn't had that easy of a time in the ship that she's used to. So she's genuinely looking around for other people to accost and talk to and just chew their ear off.
Well, the captain also appears to be a little bit like, I'm off duty. I'm off work. I'm ready to have a few drinks and chat. So is there anything you want to talk to the captain about, or do you want to let it be like chit chat off screen?
I will I'm happy to move over that in terms of if it's not really relevant to the story. In terms of Galathea, she would want to inquire about eligible bachelors perhaps on the ship that she wasn't aware of, and go a little bit more into the Contessa just because interesting.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a, where is it? Roll me a rumor check.
Ooh, I have things in that. That should be a 73 or under. Yeah, that's fine. 20.
20. So you go through some of the bachelors and a few of the people on. There's not that many, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. The captain, as you move in and have another glass of wine, and then you bring up the Contessa, says, she brought on so much cargo, and some of it was just weird.
Oh.
Just I don't know. One of the boxes fell and broke open, and like I didn't recognize these things. These like golden idols, and things like that. And one of them was shaped kind of like a person's face with some sort of like headdress on them. It was very weird. It was like a gilded figure. It was very odd.
I'm assuming that is not on display. You see my
No, it's all part of her baggage down there. We've got, as I said, she's paying me quite a bit, and part of it is because I don't have barely any cargo space to make a profit off this trip carrying anything.
It brings me my husband, my late husband, used to be an archaeologist. You see, it reminds me of some of the absolutely amazing findings he's come across. You wouldn't know anything about where it's from or what it does?
I don't know anything about where it's from. I don't know. Like it's just weird. I've never seen anything like it, and she's carrying so much of it. It must be valuable, I suppose. Like
these things usually are. Yes. I mean, I'd be happy to share what little expertise I have if you wanted to.
Roll I'm going to say a routine. So add 10 to your charm.
Ooh, I rolled a 23, so that should be good.
That's really good. So you put that off, and you see her kind of look at you, and she kind of like brushes your hand a little bit, and she goes, I suppose tomorrow after I get off, we could go down to the cargo area and we could take a look at that crate.
I would be absolutely delighted, provided your wife won't get jealous.
No, she's not possessive in that way.
And I think that is definitely a nice little score, something finally happening on this bloody ship for Galathea. Yeah.
All right. So transitioning over, let's go to the other end of the spectrum, to Dawntail. Dawntail, your shift has ended.
Right.
You are not in. You are press ganged, but you're not chained. They got you on the ship, so you kind of got to be here. So you have run of the ship now. So long as you don't get in any of the paying customers' way at the moment, where are you spending your time?
She is going to. Honestly, she feels so suffocated down in the hold of the ship. She's probably just putting the last barrel into place. And there we go. Screw y'all. I'm going to the deck. She'll click, clap, click, clap, click, clap up to the deck and just go, like, throw open the door, just go, finally. God, it stinks down there.
It is a crystal clear night of stars and expanse, and you see, like, most people are on deck. There's this, like, unresolved energy of seeing land and nothing happening from it that is causing everybody to stay up a little bit later than normal. Okay, so she'll kind of still a little claustrophobic, but not nearly as bad as it was down in, like, the hold or the galley. She's gonna take, I assume she at least gets, like, one portion of rum. Yeah.
She's gonna kind of go.
Don't want a mutiny.
Oh, too sweet. Way too sweet. Yeah. Because she is a Grendel and they are known for their excess. She's gonna kind of wander about, probably nervously, like, pawing at the ground a little bit with her goat's hooves. Just like, she's just this bundle of nervous energy.
So as you're going about, you see a gentleman standing there, kind of just standing off to the side, watching everybody. Janik, what are you doing?
Janik, being the gadfly, has been kind of, like, spreading rumors amongst the things about their patron, going, oh, isn't it weird that she hasn't shown her face? I'm sure there's something wrong with her. Perhaps she's ill, and this is just the final cruise before we have to go and take her to her funeral, or something along those lines. So he's been kind of going around and talking to the nobility and talking them up and trying to convince them that he's still. Meanwhile, he's always kind of keeping an eye open. But right now, he's kind of sowed his chaos and is just watching everything now unfold.
You've been enjoying you've been enjoying the seeds you planted, watching them grow.
Yes, because
he having come up just up on deck, throwing back the rum that he has, she has, a Grendel, which is not a completely unknown sight, but not a common sight coming onto deck.
And especially in this humanocentric world that we live in, I go, ooh, this is fascinating. So I go over and I go, hello, that's a pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
And who the hell are you?
My dear, my name is Janik Dassler. You should be well to remember that, because I am a fantastic man.
By the amount I'm drinking, I probably won't remember shit, but I'll do my best to remember.
The drink, I get it. So what do you do on this lovely pleasure cruise?
Well, you know those buckets you shit in all day? I empty those out.
Oh, that
sounds
like
barrels you get out of, I move those around and just generally keep this place from dissolving into complete and utter chaos and sinking in the middle of the ocean.
Well, I mean, then you are the glue that holds this whole ship together.
One part of it.
I have never met a Grendel. I apologize if that's offensive. I don't know.
Nah, not really. I mean, I kind of got here out of luck. Most of what's left of my wild hunt is way inland. Probably get high off their tails.
Well, I mean, we all have to imbibe every so often.
It's every so often. With the Grendel, that's every couple of seconds.
Oh, wow. I've already had my rations for the night. but it would be nice to if you could give me some ideas to what's going on with this ship, because I'm sure you have your ear to the ground.
1 second. All right, I'm ready. I mean, Cook's been hiding away some fun shit. Yeah, these things are way out east. These things like 100-year-old eggs. Some very bad eggs. Oh.
Well, that's lovely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if I may interject for a second, Nix, you and making your rounds on the deck over here, a Grendel and a man thinking about being out of rum.
Can't let that slide. I imagine some point during this little sea voyage, I've probably snuck down to the hold a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. You're running the illegal rum trade on this ship.
You know, it's how you do. And I'm just gonna like casually like walk over and, you know, just like pull out my little like bottle of rations and start drinking, but I'm gonna do it kind of obvious, where like I just leave my coat open a little too long so they can see that there's more in there. Just, you know, super casual. But yeah, just like, oh, man, there's never seems to be enough of this stuff.
Interesting. You seem to have a lot of that stuff, actually.
You don't want to run out. Like, bad things will happen. You know, gotta make sure people are kept happy.
Well, and that is difficult on this long voyage.
That is very true. You go a little stir crazy at sea.
And not just at sea.
We haven't stopped at all, which is unusual. I've made this route many times before, just in general, and usually most ships stop at various ports along the way.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had actual ground under my hooves. Place is slippery as all hell.
Yeah, like, if you see these legs, it's hard enough walking around like on dry land, but add in the like rocking of the boat and these boat legs, it's a mess. Like I've fallen down 3 times just today.
Yeah.
Well, that is wonderful. Well, would you mind sharing a ration with me? I've ran out for the day, unfortunately.
Can't have that at all.
No.
I might be able to, you know, spare some for a coin.
Well, I suppose I could give you a coin.
What is it? The you know, first one's free.
The first one's
and I'll
free.
like pull out one of the like smaller rations and hand it over. Cheers, friend.
I take it and I go, oh, toast to friendship.
And then toast and
Bottoms
take a
up.
swig.
Yeah, 2 seconds later, you hear something flying through the air, and boop, and suddenly, oh, Dontail does not have a bottle anymore.
Well, you guys are taking your extra rum, and walking by is a gentleman in the attire of the first mate. You know him as Luca Barbie. He is you've met him before. He is out of the city of Venisara, which is like the predominant trade city, but he no longer lives there. He left for undisclosed reasons, 1 step ahead of the hangman. And he stops and like looks at Nix and says, "Do I see you handing out extra rum rations and not
at all.
providing me with one?"
Oh,
He
that
holds out his cup and like just shakes it like.
And I'll pull out two and hand the larger of the two to him and another one to Dawntail over here. You seem to be out, my friend.
That I am, and I need this.
Yes. Few can drink like the Grendel.
Damn straight.
And he just like downs his too and just like looks square at you and is like, I'm one of them, however.
Oh.
And he looks at you, is everyone enjoying their, and he goes, night under the stars.
It is a lovely night.
It's fantastic.
Good drinks, good friends.
Only
right?
a few days more at sea, but we still have a long way to go.
Yeah. Any tell of maybe someone getting on one of the light boats, heading to the island, just see what's what?
Sorry, I honestly I didn't hear you through.
Sorry, she's asking if there's any plans or whispers of going to the nearby island.
Yeah, no, I just had a hiccup in my sound. I just didn't hear you. Oh, he says, no. He's like that land. We'll be seeing it for quite some time. In a day or two should be one of the trade stops that maybe we'll stop at. As far as I'm aware, we're not stopping, but maybe this much of time at sea, those unaccustomed change their mind very quickly. Maybe we'll stop in. That would be quite lovely.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate having some sand under my hooves again.
As would I. And he just kind of looks down his feet, though. I don't have hooves.
Or the loss.
Says, well, he goes, and he like holds out his cup again. He knows how to play this. He throws it back and he says,
and I'm not Nyx is not super concerned at all because she's just going to go get more.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
And Janek's just sitting there like mumbling, go, that's impressive.
And he says, well, Captain has me on first shift tomorrow, so I will call it tonight. Enjoy yourselves. Don't stay up too late. And he laughs and walks away.
Meanwhile, the captain is crying on the other side of the ship about how the rum rations are being stolen.
I think the captain
being stolen. They're just being
redistributed.
Procured.
Procured. Yeah.
You account for some attrition in the rum supply when
you think you have enough.
Yeah.
Right,
you bring on more than you think you need because things happen.
Some is gonna
Nyx happens.
Yeah, Nyx happens.
Nyx happens.
That sounds like a bumper sticker right there.
Yeah.
Which, funnily enough, Nyx is the Austrian slang word for nothing. So that works.
There we go.
Hey.
So is everyone turning in for the night?
I'm already asleep.
Yeah.
Janek's gonna go. It was nice meeting you. And then he kind of departs to his quarters as well.
Yeah, you too. Dantel will spend maybe another hour or so getting into a nice deep buzz for finding what she hopes is her hammock. Probably not, but I don't think anyone's going to be arguing with her.
Yeah. And you are sleeping in naval-style hammocks. All of you find yourself in the hammocks rocking from side to side with the waves very comfortingly. And it's that rocking that drifts you all off to sleep. And it's the lack of rocking that wakes you up. You find yourself suspended off to the side a bit as you feel the ship taking a very hard turn. And you are woken in relative darkness. There's a lantern in the sleeping quarters that is lighting the area, but the lantern itself is also turned heavily to the side. And it appears to be making a hard turn. The ship appears to be making a very hard turn to port as you are all awakened in the darkness.
Oh, my head. Wait, Are we not
No, we
moving?
had a-
You begin to drift back to center again, but the turn has happened and you're all awake.
Nix, you awake?
Definitely. What?
You feel that motion of the ocean?
I did indeed, and it wasn't the one I was used to.
No. What do you reckon? We headed for port.
We still were a few days off. Maybe they decided to stop and get some more rum.
Perhaps that mysterious Contessa came out of her chambers.
Mm-hmm. You want to go take a look with me, Goldie?
Well, yeah, I might as well. I'm not going to get back to sleep at this rate. Get up, get my things, grab my bow just in case.
Nix and Goldie head upstairs. What are the rest of you doing? And you're in a communal sleeping area, except for our noble lady who secured a separate communal sleeping area.
Yeah, still as fucked up, but you can pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dontail is
better.
Dontail is headbutting the nearest support beam in a vain effort to make her hangover go away. Boom, boom, boom.
Janik is slowly making his way from his quarters to find out what's going on up deck.
Galathea, I think, would at first try and just turn around and keep sleeping. And then it's like remembering the conversation she had with the captain and how it would be a straight and steady course for many, many days. And she tries to clamber out of the hammock, which has been her mortal enemy for the last week or so.
Oh, her poor back.
Back support is all right, but getting into that thing is absolutely atrocious. Or out, for that matter. She'll take some herbal tincture, which for the pain in her leg, which, because she can't afford the good stuff anymore. And the tincture is not happening and not helping, but take some rum on second thought, and we'll start investigating it as well.
All right. So is everyone except Dontail heading up, or Dontail, did you head up after you headbutted?
After a couple good cracks and maybe a small dent forming in there, she'll once the pain is at least substituted with a different kind of pain.
I am seeing in my head the El Dorado gif of the guy just like making a bend in a thing by banging his head against it.
Walking up the stairs.
So you guys make your way up to the deck. The starlight is still very bright. The third shift crew is all moving about, but they look wrong. They look strange in the way they move. It's very rote. It's very mechanical. They don't seem to be themselves. As they're all just moving about like on very focused tasks. I was gonna say, so you guys have come up on deck. You just see all this movement happening. You see one of the sails drop down and catch the wind and fill. And you see another sail drop down and catch the wind and fill.
And these jobs that they're doing are like normal. Like they're like hoisting the mizzen mast and things like that people do on boats. Like they're doing normal boat stuff, but they're doing it in a very...
Roll me just a straight intelligence check.
Yeah, I would love to.
Roll for
I would love to. Goldie's intelligence is not great.
Roll for boat knowledge.
Roll for boat.
Boating. Yeah, Goldie's not the smartest, but he'll try. No, that's a fail. It's a 54. Yeah.
You're looking and you see all the activity, but you can't make sense of it. You're you see these sails continually drop down and start filling, and it looks like all the sails are starting to get down.
Oh, are we Nix, I'm no boatsman, but more sails means more wind means faster, yeah?
Yeah, typically that is how it goes.
Which direction are we heading? Can I look and see, try to figure out where we're going?
That would be a navigation check, which, unless you have training in that, is a intelligence-based skill that is flip to fail if you don't have training.
This would be horrible. This flip to fail. My intelligence, I don't have any training. It's a 36. Flip to fail. I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, that's a 33. That's a critical success.
Whoa! All right, critical success. You guys have turned west, which is the direction of land, and they're opening all the sails, which means you're going full speed towards land.
I start to panic a little bit, and I said, "We got to hold on. We got to tell people to hold on to something."
So, do you?
I would just say, I would just sort of start shouting, "We're headed for land. We're going to crash into the shore. Everybody, brace yourselves!" Just yelling as loud as I can.
You will probably find Galathea at this point sort of limping up to you because she recognizes you, and you've had a lovely little chat yesterday. Oh, Goldie, what is happening? Why are you shouting? Why is everyone...
I don't know, but we're headed full speed towards the shore. We need to either get off this boat or we need to secure ourselves. Crash positions.
Let's go with hold on, let me roll. We got what, 5 players?
Yep.
D6. All right. Janik, you are shoulder checked by one of the crew as you're standing there.
Oh.
And you recognize him. It's Marianus, a sailor that you had a drink with a couple days ago.
Oh no.
He's a third shift guy. You had like a morning cap with him when you were really just fucking bored like a week ago. And you look at his face and his eyes are like rolled up and it's nothing but whites. And he just like totally ignores the contact and walks right past you to go continue doing whatever it is that they're all doing.
I call out to him and I go, friend, what are you doing? And I notice, I look like, oh, that's so bizarre. So
just totally.
I make him, I'm like, see all the other crew members and I'm just like, oh, what is going on? This is bizarre. So I need to talk to a manager or something. So I go up and I find Nix and I go, you seem normal. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm just like looking around, like, is anyone like talking, or are they just like walking all like zombie-ish?
They're walking very zombie-ish and just like single task, complete turn, go to another single task, ignoring all other factors.
Maybe you can help. Maybe if we can get these sails like pointed a different direction. I'm gonna head up to like
Nix, are you a sailor? Have you sailed on professionally?
I have not.
But where is the captain in this?
I've been on boats before, so I know like the general idea.
My friend Gala asks a good question. Where's the captain?
So you guys make yourself up. If Nix is going to try to like take control of the ship, you can go up to the quarterdeck.
Yeah, I want to try and see if I can like steer us away from crashing.
At the wheel of the ship, you see the captain similarly fixed straight ahead, eyes rolled up, whites only showing, holding the steering wheel in like wheel. I don't know the term. In a death grip.
That's it.
In a death grip.
I will try and walk up to her and shake her.
You give her a shake and the hand comes off and just shoves you away and goes.
That's bizarre.
Galathea will actually probably fall down because she doesn't have the best of balances with a cane.
No reaction from the captain as you fall down.
Be incredibly hurt, not physically, just, dignity-wise.
Now, wait a minute, Captain. I don't know if you are trying to get us get away from me.
That's very rude.
I offer Galathea my hand as well and go, what's going on?
And I'm gonna take it.
I'm gonna run up to the captain here, and I'm going to try to grapple her away from the steering wheel. And I'm gonna say, Captain, I don't know if you're trying to get away from your wife, but this is not the way to do it. And so I'm gonna grab her and try to like wrestle her back.
Let me check I believe it's an athletics check, but let me double check grappling. So we're gonna roll a check for this. And I'm gonna warn you as you do this. While I'm looking this up, to vamp a little bit while we're looking this up, is this is like the moment in the movie with like robots and stuff, where like, oh, they're not dangerous, and then like you do something and they all notice. You see all the crew members' heads turn towards Goldie when he does this. So, but Goldie doesn't see this because Goldie's attempting this.
Concern.
So we're gonna take down perilous stunt. So you can roll me a coordination test.
I would love to do that, but
and it's going to be resisted by a coordination test from the captain.
Sweet. Can I share this with you? So I have a trait. It's a talent actually, and it's called Take 'em Down. And so I can. Oh shoot! I have to be at a distance. Oh no. Okay. No, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try and take her down using. It is a. You said athletics.
Coordination.
Okay, that's not as great, but I will give it a shot. That is I have to roll under a 43.
This is a contested roll, so tell me how far under a 43 you roll.
That is a 90. So not at all.
And she, with like strength beyond what her frame suggests, like shrugs you off. And you now look about and you see the rest of the crew, all their heads turn towards you, their shoulders turn, and they start walking towards you.
I should know the only crew that isn't doing this is Dontail, who now looks very confused. Just like
and yeah,
so,
if Nick,
to be clear,
Dontail's like she's gonna shout out to Goldie because like they know
he's
each other.
unaware.
So I would have your back because we've had each other's many times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would shout out to Goldie and like come.
Dontail, like, you recognize that this
post up by him.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just
Dontail, you're part of the ship. You recognize this is specifically the third shift of the crew and the captain. This appears to be who is caught up in whatever this is. So everyone else is asleep. You guys were woken up by the turn because, you know,
they're being targeted by shifts.
So as they all appear to be closing in on you, anyone who's looking forward in the starlight sees a beach appear.
Oh no.
You close in, and suddenly there's the massive creaking of timber and a retching beneath your feet, and you find yourself airborne.
Oh no.
And then blackness. And we're all going to slide down to lightly wounded on our damage tracker.
That's a great start. Great.
Well, you know what? If you were below decks, it would have been worse.
Yeah.
Because you would have been bouncing around. It would have been worse. So we now cut through to everybody roll me a resolve test and and let's see who succeeds by the most. Let's see if anyone succeeds. And if someone succeeds, more than one person succeeds by the most.
Okay, resolve.
Test.
Resolve.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. Oh, that's a willpower.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I am okay.
Ugh.
61,
No.
but I have a 69 in it. So
I rolled a 44 when I needed a 34.
Okay.
I got a 70 when I needed a 35. So
I needed a 47 and I got a 41.
All right. So you're close.
Yeah, I'm right there under it.
barely.
I got a 6.
All right. So it would be
I
Dontail.
believe though I rolled doubles, so I believe that's a crit fail.
I was just looking to see who wakes up first. So Dontail, you are pleasantly. You're at a point where like you're having some weird dreams, but you're kind of pleasantly asleep, and you're in your childhood home sleeping spot, whether it's a bed or a grove or whatever.
Place by the fire, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like wherever you're accustomed to sleeping to. And you like kind of move and it shifts weirdly underneath you. And there's this moment of wrongness. And also this, like you feel on the back half of you, this building heat. It's just odd. And you move again and you feel shifting sand against your face. And that starts triggering memories of the ship and the beach and flying through the air. And your eyes snap open and you are half like you've landed in milk white sand. It is a sunny day. It is beating down on your back. And you are on a beach with members of the crew scattered on the beach all around you.
Okay. Until like bolts up and it's just like immediately that bundle of nerves is now kind of exploding. She like immediately draws her sword, just like, fuck, what? Oh, god damn it. Okay. She kind of goes around and kind of calls out, all right, who's not dead?
Gala, you are now going through a similar process of realizing you are not in your bed and just confusion. Like, where, what? You don't remember the ship initially. You're just like totally confused about this beach and where you are.
So if I don't remember the ship, I remember
it's like it's like for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
You're just like, you are in your bed and then confused. Why am I not in my bed?
because it was Janik
Yeah.
just helping me up as we crashed, and I figure sort of holding on to whatever's there, so that would be holding on to each other. She'd probably go, Angus, and then go around because it's not Angus, and then look around. Sand. It's oh god, and she sort of taps him, half punches. Wake up! I think we're beached. I mean, there's beach everywhere, so we're beached. What on earth just happened?
I was having a wonderful dream. That's all I remember.
The rest of you start coming to also. You were all scattered in general proximity to each other as you were all kind of standing near each other.
I look up at the ship and I go, oh, that's a thing that happened.
The ship appears to be in decently good condition, though it is run aground.
Galathea scrambles for her walking stick that's in the dirt somewhere and just pulls herself up. Now, who is alive? Please be a lot.
I'm Goldie's laying there with his eyes closed, and he speaks and he says, I'm just gonna wait 5 more minutes, just hoping that this is a dream.
You feel a hoof on your back kicking you. Get up.
Sadly, I think this is a nightmare.
Nyx is like crawling around trying to find her glass eye.
I would notice this and I would go help her find it. Yeah. Oh, wait, nope, that's a rock. Hold it.
Is the captain still here?
You guys can go ahead and make me a scrutinize test. I believe is the looking around test.
I crit failed that.
Oh no!
Not
Solo
awareness.
Why? Why do I feel all the things I actually have skills in?
80.
Yeah, that's an 18 for me. I succeed.
I did good.
Ooh, nice.
I got a 50, and I have mark and scrutinize, and my perception's 45. So I made it just by the
nice.
hair.
Some of y'all need to
47,
talk to your dice and tell them it's
and
not
I got
D&D and you
12.
want a little low. Just have a little chat with your dice.
Yep.
So who succeeded?
Rolo.
Do we have
I
any
did.
crit successes?
No.
No.
Okay. So looking about, you see members of the crew scattered all about the beach. Who had the highest level of success?
I did.
I probably did. I needed to get 47 and I got 12.
Oh wow!
That's 3 levels of success.
I needed to get 46 and I got 18. So I gave you a run for your money.
Ooh, so you guys, you both.
Me and you like
both
we're a
notice-
team. We're used to this.
Yeah, we are. We're
Edge of the beat.
back to back.
At the edge of the
Scanning.
beach is so the beach runs up and then it runs into a rather thick tropical forest. And on the edge of it, you see a figure clad in black robes with a black veil, looking out on the beach and turns and heads into the jungle. And as you see that, movement catches your eye, and you see one of the people on the beach is starting to move. It appears to be a woman with rich dark brown skin starting to move.
Is it the captain?
You can get a little bit closer and take a look.
Okay. I would go to shout after the Contessa, who I assume to be the Contessa.
Yeah.
But then I would see this figure move, and I said, "Oh, Captain!" And I would run over to her.
So as you run over, you see the captain start to get up, but it's a weird, disjointed up. Yeah, it's a weird disjointed up as you see, like it's a, and as she turns towards you, her head hangs off, and you see her like nasal cavity is just completely caved in.
Never mind. I mistook you for somebody else.
She starts moving towards you at a pretty quick clip, and you see other bodies starting to move around as about 5 other of them start to get up, and we are going to be entering our initiative, which means our smuggler, who has the Han shot first quality, gets to go first. There are now within so I'm going to say that you guys are generally grouped, with Goldie having moved about 3 yards out from you towards the captain, who is about 5 yards from you. So Goldie, you're about 2 yards from the captain. Okay. Spaced out from you about 10 yards generally away are another group of these bodies that appear to be pulling themselves up in weird contortions.
You can just call them zombies.
Yeah, they're basically zombies. These zombies getting up and are beginning to move towards you. What is their initiative? Oh, they got a 0 in it. So they don't have a very good one at all. They have a 3. So they're going last. So before we start initiative, they shoot first. You get 3 action points to use at the beginning of this. None of them are particularly close to you, but they're all within firing range.
Well, to start out my extra action points, I'm going to load my flintlock.
All right. Oh, we can go with.
Are we going to assume it was probably already loaded?
We can assume that you were loaded with you were
At
loaded, and all you need to do is prime
Okay.
the pan. So you just pour some powder and you fire.
Sounds good. Because with my one eye, I don't have the range that normal people have because I can't see quite so far away.
That's the nearest one is 5 yards from you.
Okay, then
That is the captain.
I can
one.
do that. That's the captain. I'm gonna shoot the captain.
Go for it. So roll me a martial melee test.
Wouldn't it be ranged? Because
martial range.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, so I need to get a 62.
All right.
And I actually don't.
Oh no! Well,
I got a 78.
This is when I remind you that you have that pool of rerolls that you can use.
This is true. I do.
Come on. We're surrounded by zombies.
Save Goldie.
Save me.
I can kill him later.
Wait,
What?
Yeah. So we each have like 1 reroll.
So you all have
Your
1
fate
reroll,
points.
and you can share them with each other. In theory, you have 5 communal rerolls.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I have 2.
I think. I'm not gonna use the reroll. I am going to. So shooting is what, 1?
Shooting is 1 action point,
Okay.
I believe.
And then I want to move up by Goldie.
All right.
Use the rest of my movement to move up to Goldie.
All right. So you move up by Goldie, and so you fire. It goes wide, and you see some sand jump off to the left of the captain. And you're just, and you move up by Goldie. You start taking out your shot to reload. I'm assuming on your next turn. Janik, it is now your turn.
Janik is going to see that clearly these are of the maybe not necessarily undead persuasion, but they're a problem. So he kind of starts slowly backing up as he draws his pistol and takes a shot at the whatever the closest one is.
That would be the captain again. So go ahead and roll your ranged martial ranged. Yeah.
Okay. That is a 19 under 40.
That hits.
Sweet.
So now you're going to roll a d6 and add your combat bonus to it.
Okay.
And remember, it's a gunpowder, so if you roll a 1 or a 6, you get to roll again.
Okay. And that is, you said combat bonus, right?
Yep.
So 10.
10 damage. That slides it down to lightly wounded.
Nice.
So and a chunk of the captain's shoulder comes off, and she doesn't seem to notice.
Just lightly wounded.
Yeah, just lightly wounded. Missing a collarbone for a zombie? Come on.
Yeah.
That's not normal. So yeah, I will prepare to get my shot ready for the next.
You have 2 action points left if you want to.
Okay.
You can bank one to try to like parry an attack.
Yeah, you know what? I'll bank one, and
you can actually bank 2. You can use as many reactions as you have action points.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just bank the 2 just in case.
All right. So now, Gala.
So we're in a fight.
Yep.
Gala's not exactly being used to being in a fight.
No.
And the way she stress reacts to this is quite unexpected. As Goldie and Nix and people start moving into the fight with the zombies, she sort of starts clasping her walking cane, trying to turn it into some form of weapon in case any of the zombies come near her. And oh god, I did not survive a husband and the downfall of my social status to die on a lonely island surrounded by zombies. You kill them now, kill them good. And this is an inspiring speech, hopefully some inspiring words that rally the morale of the comrades. And I'm making a leadership test, I believe.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. Leadership test. If it succeeds, it's good. If it doesn't, it's, well. Whee! I think that's good. That was a sound I made. Leadership. So it's a +10 because I'm lightly wounded only. But also it's one with the stars, so that's a take 10 away. Or no, that's a flip to fail thing, right?
Oh yeah, so you'd flip to fail.
That's fine though, because it's 52, so that would be 25, so it doesn't
matter.
And my thing is 63.
Ooh, there you go. So you succeed.
So you're inspired by this elderly woman picking up a walking cane like a weapon and ready to fight for her life.
And what does that mean mechanically?
That means you add +1 to your damage and peril thresholds.
Yeah.
All right.
You are harder to slide down those things. Which reminds, well, that's on their turn. So
Got it.
All right, that's on their turn. Nix, it's your turn.
Okay.
I'll bank the rest of the AP, by the way, in case parry.
I have to do the captain is how far away from Nix now?
The
Like
captain
2 yards,
is
you
about
said?
5 yards away from Nix, and all the rest of them are 10 yards away.
Okay. Nix is gonna go close up that 5 yards using one of her points, and then she's going to pull out her stiletto and try and stab the zombie captain, probably in like the thigh, because that's about as high as Nyx can reach. Because I'm very little. In fact, I am pint sized mechanically. So I have to get 62. And I got 61.
Oh.
So you're running up to the captain, roll me damage. So roll D6 and add your combat bonus. If you roll a 6, you get to roll again and add them together.
I did not. So that's an 8 damage.
Nice. So that moves the captain down again to...
I have a thing. Now, the stiletto says it's vicious. So it's if she takes an injury, it does. I roll extra chaos dice.
Yeah, I think that doesn't kick in until moderately wounded.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know like where in the thing she was. I just...
She did not take damage.
Okay.
All right. Or she does not take an injury. I'm sorry. She does not take an injury.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I rolled a 4. So she's good there. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to try a perilous stunt?
Oh. I'm like looking and seeing what they are.
You can try like a dirty trick to blind the disarm doesn't really apply here because they don't have any weapons.
You could knock one of their arms off.
Or you could try to knock her to the ground.
I could try and knock her to the ground. Sure. Let's try and do that.
All right.
So is that the takedown would
Yes,
be,
so that'd be a takedown. So that's coordination versus coordination.
And so I have to roll 47 or less.
Spoiler alert.
And I rolled 100.
All right. Well,
I rolled double unicorns.
That's crit
very bad.
Fail. She also failed, so I'm gonna say there's no effect. You don't end up on the ground. But yeah, that's no good. All right. So you have 1 action point left. Do you want to bank it to try to parry?
Sure.
Okay. So you are banked an action point to parry. All right. So now it is Dawntail's turn.
All right. So Dawntail, up until a chunk was blown out of the captain's shoulder, was about to go, hey, back off. Maybe there's something to this. Then the shoulder got blown out. And clearly, this is no longer the captain. This is something very bad. So she is going to use 2 action points to charge.
All right. So that will, if I recall correctly, charge gives you extra damage on your next attack, right?
Yep.
Excellent.
And she'll use her 1 remaining action point to do the old hack and slash with her mortuary sword.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll me an attack.
Okay. That is a 28.
I'm assuming that hits.
That does hit. My combat is 46, by the way.
Excellent. I believe
56.
Charge gives you an extra fury dice. So you roll 2d6, re-rolling any 6s and adding the results.
Okay. So 1 is 3. 1 is 1. So that's 4 plus 5 is 9.
9. So you move her now to, she is seriously wounded. So I'm going to roll d6 twice. She does not take an injury.
Darn.
She is now, she's getting pretty close to dead.
All right.
And that is all of your AP, correct?
Yep.
Outstanding. Goldie, you are not very far away from this. You see Nyx and Dawntail just run up to the captain after a chunk of her shoulder just suddenly disappears and snaps back. Nyx and Dawntail just run up, or no, not, Nyx and Dawntail just run up and start wailing on this thing.
And how many other
There are
Formerly
5
dead.
other ones that appear to be like corpses moving about, getting up and in various stages of coming towards you.
I'm figuring. I'm trying to decide. Like they seem like they've got control of the captain situation. So I think what I'd do is Goldie would step in front of Gala and get between her and the approaching zombies. And he's going to pull out his bow. And I'm going to roll for it. But he does have a trait that he gets from his background, which means that whenever he makes an attack with a ranged weapon on his first attack action, he never misses.
Ooh.
And they can't dodge,
nice.
parry, or resist. And I get an extra fury dice for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm gonna roll my ranged attack anyway, and it would combat martial range. It would have been a miss, but it's not. So that's good.
So roll damage, and you're attacking one of the other ones, right?
I'm attacking one of the other ones that's approaching us, figuring that I know Nyx. I figure she's got the captain taken care of. It looks like the captain's in rough shape. And so I roll 2d6. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. You roll 1d6 unless you have some special modifier.
I have an extra fury dice for this roll.
Then that would be it.
Yeah, there we go. So that is boxcars. That's 12.
12. You move it 2 steps down. It goes immediately to moderately wounded. It does not take an injury, but you hit it center mass, and it actually like staggers back a few steps as there's an arrow now protruding out of its chest, the fletching showing out of it as it just kind of like the head just kind of drops down.
And I say, nothing surprises me anymore, but usually that kills a person.
Just keep shooting.
And I'm banking 1 action.
All right, you're banking 1 action point.
Yeah,
we are
just in case I
now
need to dodge.
on the creature's turns. I want everybody to make I've been looking for this just like desperately. I'm trying to find where stress is. So I'm just going to say a willpower test. Everyone make a willpower test.
Okay.
Because these things are horrifying.
Yep. Willpower, huh? That is.
Stress is usually
Would this
resolved.
be resolve?
Yeah.
Resolve. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
That's good.
So everyone roll a resolve test.
I have
That's
a
a
similar
94. Oh,
I have a
no.
similar question.
All right.
Is this against an intimidate skill? Or
Not
is it just okay?
It's against the
Yeah, it's a
fear
success.
Yeah.
It's a success, but Goldie doesn't get intimidated either.
Yeah, same. Dauntless.
So I'm gonna use a point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
because I got an 81 and I want to reroll.
Reroll.
Nothing phases Nyx. I rolled a 5.
Let's see. That was worse. Yeah, that's a crit fail now. So.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. I got 44. I needed a 35.
All right. So, where are conditions? Gosh, I like had this bookmarked and then I lost the bookmark. You are all in the fear category now, or anyone who failed is now afraid.
Okay.
And I'm losing where the conditions are. So I'm going to just make a call on the fly and say, if you're afraid, let's go and move 1 step down your peril track.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to say for right now, because I lost that in my head. I had it in my head at the start of this, and it just flew out as soon as we needed it, which, is awesome. So these are going to move forward. They have an 8-yard movement. So the ones that are moving towards you guys are going to, since they had to get up during part of this turn, they're going to hustle and they're going to move their movement. So you guys get 1 more turn where they're not on top of you. However, the captain is already on top of at least one of you, if I'm recalling correctly. Dawntail?
Yeah.
And all right. So Dawntail, you hit it harder, if I recall correctly.
Hit pretty hard, yeah.
Yeah, you hit it pretty hard. So the captain, what used to be the captain, is going to attack you as she just kind of like hands hooked into claws lunges at you.
All right.
In a very feral way. So
Okay.
this is she is going to hit. Do you have an action point to parry?
I do not.
All right, then you are going to be hit.
Okay.
You will take 10 damage.
Ooh, that just outside the threshold.
So you're going to slide down to moderately wounded now. So I need you to roll 1d6.
Okay.
And she's going to use her ripping teeth. When she deals damage, she can force a foe to resist a takedown.
Okay.
Because they don't actually have
a 6.
You rolled a 6?
Yep.
Nice. She did not roll a 6. So you managed to she claws in and tries to bite you as you go in, and you make a frame on her throat and shove her away.
The 6 was for the injury thing.
Oh, you rolled a 6?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh.
Let's come back to that. Roll me a coordination test.
Okay.
That is bad.
That's bad.
Yeah. I have to imagine.
Yeah.
That is a 2.
That's a 2. You rolled a 2?
That's
you rolled a 54. So that goes back to as a pit fighter, you were used to opponents coming in and trying to grab a hold of you and put, and you make a frame and just shove her away as she attempts to grab a hold of you. And you feel something is not quite right after she grabbed a hold of you. I need you to roll a D100.
Okay.
Let me find the injury table.
That is a 10.
It's a 10. I don't remember if low or higher is bad or good on the injury table. So let me pull this up. I believe it's in the combat section. So let me pull that up. You are going to take an injury which has a long-term impact and can only be healed through, the usual things like surgery and those things that are really easy to get on a stranded desert island sort of place. So you rolled a 10.
Yep.
The place labeled injuries in here is not actually the injury table.
That's
So
super helpful.
I do have the table up. Would you like me to?
Oh,
tell
you do.
What
What
a
is 10?
Okay, a 10 is a moderate injury. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a black eye.
Okay. So
until fully recuperated, you must flip the results to fail skill tests, which rely on vision.
thank you very much. And
Okay.
so now you have flip to fail on vision tests. All right. The rest of them move in surprisingly fast. These are closer to 28 Days Later zombies than Night of the Living Dead zombies. But they're not quite on you guys yet. Going back to Janet.
Okay. So they're not quite on me yet. Remind me. So that AP that I banked from last round is gone. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I have 3. Well then, I'm gonna back up with Goldie because Goldie seems competent in the fight. So I'm gonna back up and reload. Well, I guess I can't reload if I back up. I maneuver.
Yeah, they're getting pretty close. If you want to back up, you can. Yeah, you can't reload anymore, but you can start pulling out your sword or weapon or whatever.
Yeah, I'll back up and switch to my stiletto as well.
All right,
and kind of just form a semicircle around Gala.
All right.
Yeah, I'm behind Goldie. No question. Just hiding.
All right. So you're all preparing. You're all banking AP and preparing for the onslaught of zombies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just the weight thing.
All right, Nix, you are still next to the captain. The captain's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm going to. No, is there a anything. I'm trying to see. There's like a stronger flippin' melee stabbiness.
You can call your shot, which makes it harder to hit, but you can then I believe you don't give them any chance to parry, which they're not really parrying, but I believe you do extra damage with it as well.
Is that can you do that on melee? Or
Yes, you can. It is a 2 AP. I don't think let's see. I don't think that gives you an extra fury.
It just means make a combat-based test, cannot dodge or parry the attack. So if they banked AP, they can't use it.
Yeah.
Bolt shot.
Yeah. Called shot is a little more sweet. I feel like there was something that could give you an extra AP. Called shot. You do add one additional fury dice.
Okay, I am going to stab her in the femoral artery.
Ooh, very nice. So I'm going to say that's a -10 to your check.
Okay.
So it's a little
still,
bit harder.
I've got 62 is what my melee is. So,
all right.
And I rolled exactly 62.
All right. So
Nice.
You go right into the meat of her thigh, dead center. You feel the blade hit bone. Roll damage.
Okay, and you said roll an extra fury?
Roll an extra fury dice.
Okay. So 9 total damage.
9 total damage. She moves to grievously wounded. She's rolling 3 dice. I don't roll injuries, apparently. I really need to be a PC. I rolled a 2, a 4, and a 2.
Oh, man.
So, all right. That was 2 AP. Are you banking the last one?
I'm going to bank the last one, yes.
All right. All right. That leaves us to Dawntail.
All right. She will try and make another melee attack with her sword and hopefully fell this creature, which uses the visage of the captain. So, fun stuff. And that is a 6.
That definitely hits.
Okay. So that is 1d6 plus that. 4 plus 5 is 9.
9 damage. You bring your sword up and bring it down into the side of her skull, and it sinks because of her caved-in science guy, like all the way to the nose, and you rip it out, and she collapses down to the ground and is no longer moving.
Okay. She will then she will withdraw her sword, kind of pull back into a fighting pose, and just not as a ability, but she'll just shout, "The sand is hungry!"
Galathea will sort of peek up from behind Goldie's shoulder and go, "She's magnificent."
Oh yeah, she's something else. Are you? I'm sorry, Dante. Are you finished?
Yeah, she's banking those.
I didn't
two.
want to. Cool.
That's all right.
You had a cool ending, and I didn't want to assume that was the end of it.
That's all right.
Real quick before we proceed, now this is a mechanics question for you, Tom.
Yes.
So I rolled 2 6s. Do those explode on that last?
Oh
one?
yeah, 6s explode.
Okay. So I rolled the extra damage, and it would be I rolled 2 5s, so that's another 10. So that one Zombo that I was hitting should have taken 22 damage total.
Oh, that
yeah. I just want to. I was real happy about it, and Lydia pointed it out. Thank you, Lyd.
I believe I'm going to lose it to grievously wounded.
Okay,
because that was 1 point under slaying it in one shot.
Oh man!
All right, so there's one that is carrying an arrow in its chest, and it's like whole side of its body is just gone limp and is now like a Night of the Living Dead zombie, where it's like dragging one leg.
That is highly preferable when compared to 28 Days Later zombies.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In that case, what I'll do is I'll spend an action point to load my bow. I'll train on a different zombie because I figure that one's looking pretty weak. Someone can take it out eventually. And I'm going to shoot another arrow at a second zombie that's coming.
All right.
Jokes on Goldie. We'll all fail and then die.
That's a 24, so that's a success for me.
You're shooting. I'm sorry. Are you shooting at?
I'm shooting at an uninjured zombie.
All right. Cool.
So that's just 1d6 this time. That's 3 points against that zombie, and then I'm going to use my third action point to reload my bow.
All right. So when you say 3, was that 3 on the dice?
3 damage on the
D6.
D6.
3 on the dice or plus your combat bonus?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not adding my combat bonus. You're right.
Would you
So
have killed the previous zombie with
the other one's
combat
dead.
bonus?
He absolutely would have if he had added his combat bonus.
I haven't been adding that.
All right. So yeah, one zombie. There are 2 zombies down now. The captain and the Goldie shot initially.
And then the other one would take 8. The one that the other one that I had. Yeah.
All right, 8 damage. That moves it to moderately wounded. Or
Awesome.
lightly wounded, sorry. So now another one gets a arrow in the leg, like in the meat of the thigh, and it doesn't seem to slow down, but it also has taken damage.
Nice.
All right. So now the remaining 4 zombies are upon you, and I'm going to be spreading the 4 attacks out, or the 4 zombies out on the people shielding Gala.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all held our actions, didn't we? Sort of.
Yeah, so you all held an action point. So we're gonna go through. We're gonna start with Janik.
Okay.
One of them jumps on you and attempts to make a tooth and nail attack, and that is just makes it. Would you like to parry?
Yeah. I will.
Oh no.
If you succeed by any amount, basically, you're gonna beat this thing.
Okay. 9.
9, definitely. So you have it leaps at you and you like stiff arm it on the shoulder and like keep it away from you and like shove it back.
Yep.
It's going to now, since it didn't have to take a full move action to get at you. It's going to try a dirty trick and try to take you down.
Okay.
So coordination test.
Coordination.
Its coordination is garbage, so there we go. That's 3 levels of failure.
Oh, good. Well, mine is coordination. Where are you? Is that agility?
Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. That is 4 levels of failure on my part because I got a name
just
too.
Barely, and like you are both slipping and sliding around the sand, and like first time sand volleyball player like sort of thing where you like. Neither of you can find your footing. Nothing seems to happen.
That's amazing.
We're going to go to Dawntail.
Okay.
Attack is coming at you. That is also just barely a hit.
Okay, she will parry.
All right.
So 66% or lower. 8 and 78. Darn.
Would you like to use your reroll?
I actually would.
All right, go ahead. Use it.
I will. That is a 26.
26. You very accustomed to fighting in sand.
Mm-hmm.
Like pivot off your front foot and just let it go by you as it lunges at you.
And quick fun thing, I believe this is a trait for the pit fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I spend a fortune point, I move up 1 step up the damage and peril condition tracks positively.
Nice. So you are now no longer wounded and you're lightly wounded and not imperiled at all.
Correct.
Excellent. So now, Nyx, you're going to be getting attacked.
Okay, I did save a point. So
I legitimately, these things have a 55% chance to hit. Against Janik, I rolled a 52. Against Dawntail, I rolled a 53. I just rolled a 54.
Now, is this
I'm
question?
seeing
Is
by
this
the
a
narrowest
range,
margin possible.
is this a ranged or a melee attack?
This is a melee attack.
Okay.
It is clawing at you with its hands.
Okay.
You do note that this particular zombie appears to be Luco Barbie, the first mate that you were talking to the last night.
I wasted my rum on this guy.
Yeah, try and reason with him.
Like, I thought we were friends, man. I thought we were friends. But I am going to roll to parry that. And I have to beat a 62, and I got a 52.
All right. So you had one level of success. You had no levels of success. So you managed to like slap the arms away and like kind of move off to the side as he kind of like lunges at you. He's going to try the dirty trick of taking you down. So
Good luck.
I
I'm
need
like
to
3
make
feet tall.
huh?
I said good luck. I'm like 3 feet tall.
Coordination test. I'm just going to say you can go ahead and don't roll that. He failed by 7 levels. And he critically failed.
I rolled a
wow.
20 when I needed 47. So
this is literally like he grabs on you and you're like, just get off. No.
Yeah, like I said, like I just kind of like swoop right underneath him because I'm like 3 feet tall. Like,
Not gonna lie, I'm a little
knock me down.
disappointed.
My center of gravity is very low.
I'm a little disappointed in how much mayhem these zombies aren't causing. But you know, there's always hope. Goldie. There's an attack coming your way. Hey, I rolled way under a 50 this time.
Good. That's great. Good for you. I'm really happy. I'm going to try and use a dodge.
Parry for melee attack.
Oh shoot. Never mind. I used my 3rd point to load my bow. So
you
give
were
me
just
that.
getting hit. Oh, this is
Give me
wonderful.
that damage.
I also apparently don't roll 6s in damage either. So you're
Great.
yeah. However, that is 10 damage.
Oof, okay. It takes me to my threshold's 5.
So you go down 1 to
I go to moderately wounded.
Roll me a d6.
A d6.
Yep. 6s are bad.
I rolled a 3.
All right. So this thing slashes you across the face and you feel blood running down it, but it feels you've been in a few scraps before, you know, superficial damage.
Yeah. I don't like
you
it.
got a little bit of blood in your eye, but it's nowhere you haven't been before.
Right. I'm just happy that Gal is okay.
All right. So going back to the top of the round, Janik.
I wanted to say on my turn that I did notice something with my character, and I wanted to make that known. Because of Dunderhead, I actually go down an extra step on the peril track.
Oh no.
And I also suffer 1 corruption. So
all right.
I now ignore 1 skill rate, and I'm sorry that I didn't notice that. So I apologize.
That's fine.
So anyway, so I will the one that attempted to attack me as we're slip sliding around, I'll try to find some purchase and kind of like come up with like an uppercut with my stiletto, I guess.
Ooh.
And
roll an attack?
Yeah. And unfortunately that is a 57. I needed a 40 because I'm ignoring my skill in simple melee now. So
all right. So you've missed?
Yeah, I missed.
Do you want to use a dirty trick or anything like that? Or do you want
you know what? I do want to use a dirty trick. I kind of want to see if I can't.
If you knock one down, other players can hit it for more damage.
Yeah, I kind of want to knock it down.
All right, roll me a coordination test.
Okay. Coordination. That's going to be a 17.
That works as you like kick its leg in the side and it buckles over. So there's now one on the ground looking rather helpless. Nice. You have 1 more AP. Are you banking it?
I will bank it just in case.
All right. Gala.
Can I smack a zombie in the face with my cane?
You can. It's on the ground. So I'm going to say this is easy. So plus 20.
Oof, that I will. I rolled a 7.
Nice. So you get to roll 2d6 because it's grounded.
Just attack people like that. It's very rude.
I love it.
What'd you roll for the damage?
2d6 and add your combat bonus.
Sorry, I didn't hear it.
2d6 and roll your and add your combat bonus.
That is, I rolled 2 1s.
Oh, it happens.
Hold on. Combat bonus is it's a 4. So that's a 6 all in all.
6 all in all?
Yeah.
All right, that moves it down. You actually like collapse a piece of its like eyebrow in
Nice.
and, like, brow, but it doesn't seem to care in the most concerning way possible.
That's the Zombo way of living and living.
Nyx, you have one that has been wounded. You have one on the ground that's been wounded.
I am going.
And there's 2 more that aren't wounded at all.
I'm going to do a. They're both on the ground by me.
There's one on the ground. There's 3 more up. One of them has been hit.
The one on the ground, I'm going to cold shot to slit its throat.
All right. So that is, I'm going to say that balances out to a normal roll for you.
Okay.
Minus 20 plus 20.
So 62. I rolled 18.
18. Roll me 2d6.
5 plus 4, so 9 damage.
9 damage. Very nice. And you bend down and just do a quick like, and there is no. You've slit a throat before.
As one does.
There's not the rush of blood that you associate with it. There's a little bit of oozing, but these things are dead. They have no circulation.
So it's terribly unsatisfying.
No, it moves down to moderately wounded. I still don't roll 6s when it comes to this. I rolled a 2. All right, Dante.
All right.
You want to try anything else? A dirty trick or anything like that?
No, I'm going to save my last one for a parry.
Okay. Dantel's up next. She will just straight up be start chanting the writ of blood and sand, which is the little scroll on her shoulder.
All right.
Because I'm a dork and I actually wrote this shit out. I live to fight. I live to bleed. I live to die. And she will make a melee attack.
Excellent. So what does that do for you?
That's just a thing.
I love it. You know, take
flavor
plus 10
thing.
for it.
That is a 58, which I need to check. Sometimes it gets mixed up. Where's my thing? Combat. Sadly, that does not hit.
Oh no! Even with a plus 10?
Oh, with a plus 10, then yeah.
Yeah.
The plus 10, then yeah, it does hit.
All right. Excellent. Which one were you attacking? One of the
one right in front of me.
All right.
So that will be 1d6. That's a 1. 6.
6 damage?
Yep.
All right, that moves it down its track. Do you have anything else you want to do?
For funsies, let's go with let's go with stunning blow. Why
Ooh.
not?
All right, let's do stunning blow.
Okay, so that is an athletics test on my end.
And where does it do for them?
Which I do have a dot in, thankfully.
A resist.
Okay, rolled a 15.
Well, they're not. Turns out zombies are not great at that. It succeeds, but you win on opposed roll.
Okay. So, did it work or?
Yeah, it's stunned.
Okay.
So you have I'm gonna say for this, you knock it back like a step. and it like is kind of like trying to catch its balance because it's like, you know, not fully coordinated, being all undead and stuff.
All right, so that's 1 less AP.
Excellent. Goldie.
All right. So how many more do we have here? What's the situation? We've got a few more.
There's 4 more. One of them's on the ground and seems to be fairly hurt.
Okay.
And there's 3 more kind of crowding around you guys.
Ugh. How close are those 3 that are crowding in?
They're in melee range with all of you.
Ooh, okay, great. I am going to shoot. Now, this is a Zweihander question. So when I'm using a ranged weapon, do I take a penalty if they're close to me?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's say yes. So you're gonna have to fight the one in front of you.
Okay, great. So I think what I'll do then is I'm going to I'll probably I've got my bow loaded, right? I still have it loaded from my last turn. So
you'll be able to fire it again if you get space.
Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit, still trying to like keep Gala behind me, you know, because I was trying to stay between her and
Gala's wailing at the thing on the ground.
I know but you're behind me, so I don't know that she's just like killing zombies left and right.
They have no AP left, so I don't think they can take an opportunity attack. So you can move back.
Then I will step back a little bit to get somewhere where I can get a bead on one of the ones that's approaching me, and I'll fire off an arrow towards that one. So I load my arrow. That's a 69.
Does that hit? It should. I mean, like
it should, but it doesn't.
So you pull back your arrow, you let it fly. I
was looking for a 58. So
you see it fly wide.
Yeah.
But then you see a shaft and fletching appear in the side of its neck.
Right. And the zombie turns around. The zombie's like, nice.
And you all start seeing suddenly in the sand and in the zombies, bolts, fletching, arrows starting to appear in the zombies as they are hit. And they start falling back. And your attention turns to the side of the forest, and you see a line of people with crossbows pulling the crossbows back and sliding bolts into them and firing another round into the zombies as they start to fall. And you see as the zombies fall, they start to disperse out, pulling crossbows back and putting bolts into bodies that haven't moved yet. And you see a figure, a man in robes, walking across the beach towards you, arms out, saying, "My goodness, are you all well? You appear to be amongst the living, the normal living, not the undead. Are you all well?"
Yeah.
For now.
I mean, define well.
You are alive and you're here?
Goldie is still hitching the skeleton.
Fair enough.
That's already no longer moving, but she's still...
Yeah.
Her hair is completely undone. She's a sweaty mess, but...
I'm thrilled that you all are here.
Gala, we have triumphed.
Yeah. Sorry, I just called her Goldie, I think. But she's about to hit you in the face with it. Might even do it because it's not like you and both feel. I am terribly sorry. I lost my continence.
I don't think I've seen anyone swing a cane quite as hard as you. She kind of wiping off her sword.
That is a grand compliment coming from someone so bloodthirsty and accomplished as yourself, if I may say so.
Thank you. Of course, she's standing there with the big frickin' shiner.
Yeah. That's quite a rush, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
You conducted yourself quite admirably. Is everyone all right? I'm bleeding a little bit, but other than that,
oh dear! She immediately starts with a little handkerchief.
Thank you.
Dontail, you feel the distinct puffiness under one eye that you know is going to be a nice mouse before it's done.
She's like, I don't suppose anyone has a frozen pork chop or something.
Unfortunately, I don't. Sorry. But perhaps Nyx does.
I'm sorry, and I turned to this gentleman in the robes. So my apologies. Thank you for your assistance. We were surely done for. Where are we?
I am Lorenzo, and this is you are just outside the village of Layton. Layton. We are a small coastal village along this route. Please come with us. We will tend to your injuries, and we have food and places to stay. We don't get many visitors. We don't have anywhere for ships to dock, so visitors are unusual here.
Well, these are unusual times.
He looks and goes, "Is this your vessel?"
It was.
It seems to be in fairly good condition.
I'm no seafarer myself. Nyx, you know something about boating.
I've been on a few. Haven't had to repair one before. But
You see Lorenzo eye it up and down, say, it's potentially still seaworthy with some work, but getting it off the beach is the trick.
Yes, I seem to notice something of a little more pressing concern, and I am a little bit concerned that you are not alarmed by these, I don't know what you would call these things. These people that were once...
Trust me, I am very alarmed, but I've seen many strange things in these forests here, so you learn to adjust quickly.
How long have you been here? Is this who lives here? What is this?
Quite some time. He says, come. And he starts like waving you and trying to lead you off the beach.
I would offer Gala my arm just because a cane on a beach, that's no good.
And Gala will gladly take it and go, say, what were those things?
Your guess is as good as mine, ma'am.
They were no longer human, that's for sure.
Yeah, no fighting finesse. Coronation is shot to shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, some of them had limbs and eyes missing. I mean, no offense. She looks at Nyx.
None taken, man.
I mean, the full eye hanging out and the part of the bone as well.
They didn't seem as concerned about it.
I'm going to stop myself now.
It's very disconcerting looking at. That's why I keep the patch. It's a little clean.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad, Nyx. You know.
Oh, it's fine.
you held your own admirably, I must say. So it clearly does not impede you in any way, shape, or form.
I've gotten myself into a scrap or two.
Oh, have you?
That is very clear.
Get myself out of a scrap or two.
Just to be clear, while you're having this conversation, you're
walking.
Following him, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are following. You guys are now walking with this group of people who are all carrying like kind of like a smallish crossbows. Some of them looking like kind of like home, like recently made. Some of them looking significantly older, and you're moving along like a fairly narrow jungle path. You can move two abreast at this point. And they're leading you through.
We not check the ship for more survivors? Why are we following these people? She'll be whispering that to Goldie on her arm.
Now that we are amongst a community, maybe we can send someone back from the village to check the area and make sure the threat is eliminated and there's no more survivors aboard.
That's probably a better idea than us. I kind of interject. I was following behind Goldie and Gala, and I was kind of like, I was kind of like, I mean, honestly, it would probably be safer to not go back that way.
Yeah, I would rather get you to safety, ma'am. We can tend to our wounds and figure out how to move on from this place.
Did anyone see the Contessa?
No.
I saw a woman dressed in black. Do you remember Gala?
She veiled.
Yeah, just as the captain described it last night.
Oh dear. Where did you see her, dear?
Well, she was standing at the edge of the jungle, and she moved in before the people started attacking us.
Most interesting.
It's alarming, to say the least.
Do you think she has anything to do with these creatures?
I honestly don't know what to believe anymore.
Oh, well. Off we go. And she takes a little swig from the rum that she stored away and that didn't break, because I'm just going to say it didn't break. And yeah. Takes
The
heart.
rum miraculously survived.
Good.
Oh,
As
a happy
it tends to
ending.
do.
She will have to ration it now, so she will not offer it to anyone.
She's frugal.
Well, yes,
Unlike her husband.
might have a little problem there, but hey.
Wow, shots fired.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm on Goldie's side. Galathea might take offense at that, but you know. I saw that.
After a time, you guys come out into a clearing in the jungle where it appears a small village has been constructed, about 10-ish buildings, maybe a little bit more than that. And you see the people that you're with start to disperse as they move through. And Lorenzo turns to you and says, "Welcome to the village of Layton. It is a pleasure to have you here." And he indicates a building. He goes, "Lodgings will be made ready for you at this location. Please, food, water, whatever you need, just let us know and we will provide it for you. It is a genuine pleasure to have visitors, and we're terribly sorry you had to suffer such a
Scrutinize. Sorry.
Go ahead.
But yeah, he's too nice.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
If Gala has learned anything that everyone
This
wants
human kindness.
someone.
This kindness from people.
Yeah. I rolled a 13. That's a lot of levels of success.
That's a 13.
Does that do something level of success here or no?
The levels of success don't get you anything additional in this, but that's a very good. That's a good
Social security number, bank details. What's the maiden name of his mother?
What's his mother's name? Oh wow. So you get, there's a lot not being said here. There's a lot being held back. But the offer of food and hospitality seems genuine, but there is a lot being left unsaid.
But I don't know what.
Yeah,
that's not how this works. It's not mind reading. I know.
Sorry, yeah, I know. So at this point, like, he's offered you a place to stay, and then if you ask for anything, that is genuine. But there is a weight to the amount of things not being said that you feel.
I'm going to ask, do you not get visitors often?
We have no place to put a ship to port, so no, we don't often. This village was settled by people much like yourself, who we shipwrecked here, and we found it quite to our liking here. So we decided to stay. Though we are in sight of the trade lines, it likely will only be a week or two before a ship comes within sight of the shore that we can signal to potentially pick you up. So you won't be here particularly long.
So are you all just shipwreck survivors then? Is that what I'm gathering? I'm confused.
You said pick us up? Are you not wanting to come as well? Back to civilization?
we like it here.
Why?
Even with-
It's very dirty.
Even with the zombies?
Hold
The
on just a
zombies
minute.
are new. I'm not going to lie about that. We've encountered a few other things in the forest, but there are things about this forest that are rather invigorating.
Invigorating.
Yes, and quite as I said, we found something here that makes we enjoy our stay here.
Can I take a turn rolling a scrutinize check?
Yes, you may.
I just want to figure out like if this is like they found some sort of like drugs or
That's what I was thinking.
you know. All right, so this is
We learned how to make
scrutinize.
meth on here on this island. It's
You'll direct
fine.
your attention to these mushrooms.
Nay.
So I'm looking for a 48 here, and that's a 29.
29.
Success.
All right, so I rolled a 71, so I'm rolling just great over here.
Good. Yeah, let's move it along.
Yeah, there's definitely an implication. Like it was pretty clearly, but like he's definitely like low-key trying to draw you out into this conversation.
Yeah, is he trying to like sell me a timeshare? Is that what's going on?
Like it might be. He seems like he's building up to a sales pitch.
Okay.
An Aztec pyramid scheme in the middle of the fucking jungle. Here for it.
He's gonna give me like Norwex cloths to sell or something like that. He's got yoga pants.
We found a well of essential oils.
It's and all the crystals you could want.
Okay.
So you feel he's building up to a pitch. You've run into a few. This is one of those you get a believer sense off him.
Right. I think Goldie picks up on this, and Goldie doesn't toy around when it comes to stuff like that. So he would say, "Can we get to whatever it is you're trying to offer us here? You seem excited about something, and I can read it all over your face."
You feel Galathea squeezing your arm in a sort of, yes, good.
Well,
Wait.
how do I describe this? It's something you have to experience, but it's a way of life. We'd be happy to welcome any of you in that wish to stay. We will not force it upon anyone. You are welcome to leave. We will not, but we encourage you in your time here to enjoy our hospitality. And when the time is right, we will show you our way of life and what it is that we have here.
Well, you have saved our lives, and I won't say no, but it is a little bit unusual.
I mean, everything here is unusual. It's an unusual place, but you'll learn to like it if you stay.
Lorenzo, may I ask, have you seen a woman by any chance, veiled, trotting through the jungle? She was one of the passengers, and we saw her leaving the ship before the attack.
You see his eyes narrow. There was one of your number that is not accounted for.
Yes, exactly. She was quite important, I hear.
Really? And he looks genuinely surprised. He goes, will you excuse me for one moment? And he turns and he speaks to somebody else and like points. Yes, go ahead and roll.
Try and eavesdrop because I have a thing.
Yes, do it.
I have a thing. I didn't think it would even come in handy, but here we are. That is, where is it? So that is 40, 60. Yes, barely.
Barely?
Yes, yeah.
You hear him speaking in an older dialect of the language you guys are generally speaking the trade language of the era, you all coming from different places, but he's speaking a slightly older dialect to one of the other members, and he says, there was another. She has gone into the jungle. Find her. She must not find it. And you see him nod and like take his crossbow and like head off. And he says, thank you so much for informing us. We will make sure that this last member of your party is found and is cared for.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
Yeah. And he says, feel free to, you can, as I said, food, water, whatever you want, rest. It appears some of you are injured, and he looks at Dawntail and goes, oh, you have a
Yeah,
thing.
one of those not quite alive folks kind of clocked me in the eye.
We don't have anything cold. It's kind of the jungle.
No poultices or...
I've heard the common folk call it a shiner, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Not my first,
we
probably
call
won't
it.
be the last, but once this swells up, it's going to be a little hard for me to see. I mean, I fight. That's kind of what I do. But if you're asking me to do some bird watching, probably won't be much help.
I'm going to kind of like gesture to everybody to kind of like huddle, like maybe like kind of like slowly... Oh yeah, absolutely. We will definitely take your hospitality. We need to talk.
And all of us are like making eye contact with each other. Like,
all right, so you guys can go huddle away and have a team huddle.
I must say, this is very, very suspicious.
it's not as suspicious as the fact that we're all huddled together in the middle of their village.
This is
give
the
us a
RPG
second. We
thing.
got
Have you
some
ever seen the
business
show
to
Psych,
discuss.
where they go and whisper where everyone can hear you?
Right.
Like, this is exactly what's happening, but no one can hear you.
This is strange, and they're obviously guarding some sort of secret. But
Did you hear what she said to the other person?
no, what did he say?
She must not find it. There is an it in the jungle.
Do you think that the Contessa is after it?
Well, I only know that the captain told me about a special artifact she had stored away and paid good money for it to be transported very quickly. The reason we didn't stop at any ports.
Wait, is that what all those crates were for? I had to haul those onto the galley. Those were a pain in the ass to bring out.
Dawntail, did you see a gilded thing?
Not really. Everything was kind of covered in boxes. I honestly, with rich folk, I kind of assumed it was just more dresses.
That's fair.
They do wear a lot of dresses. And he kind of like looks at
crates
Gala.
and crates versus crates and crates full of dresses.
All these dresses have a specific purpose for a specific event.
Oh, trust me. No. I
dresses.
understand. No cheek.
So they do seem genuine in wanting to help Dawntail's injury, and the rest
They'll
of us
go away
as
on its
well.
own.
And as long as they are opposed to whatever foul magics are happening, perhaps we're on the same side.
Keep your weapons at hand.
I only know that my dear beloved husband has told me about many of these strange, I think you would call them cults, yes? Believing the weirdest things. Absolutely strange that they could amass power in this world by making the forces beyond the veil work for them.
Yeah, but what?
I do not subscribe to such idiotic notions of the powers beyond the veil working for us. Anything. It's just
Of course. No, of course.
my God. But if we have by chance stumbled upon one of these cults, then we are in grave danger.
Question is, are we in greater danger here than we are out there? He looks out at the jungle.
I wouldn't know. If the idol thingy, what did the captain
Some
call
sort
it?
of
the
mask,
gilded
idol, yeah.
If that is still on the ship, well, we should probably not mention it to our new friends. But if the Contessa took it, I don't know how big it was, then perhaps she has some ideas on what to do with it. Use it as some degraded way of proving her own standing. It's ridiculous.
Nix, you're being awfully quiet over there, Nix. You lost in thought. What are you thinking about?
I'm just thinking about if they've got something here they want to keep secret and protect. It's probably pretty valuable.
Oh yeah, well of course, yeah, that goes without saying.
I'd
it
like to
could be.
find out what they've got here that makes them, want to stay. If they want it so bad, maybe someone else paid
I need it.
for it.
Well, I need a nap, so I'm gonna find a place to lay down.
Well, if you guys take a rest here, this is considered a safe place to rest. You all go back up your peril track.
Yay.
You are going to be given medical treatment, which means that you guys are going to be here for a little bit. So I'm going to say go ahead and bump up all the way back to unharmed.
Okay.
So we're going to be here for like a little bit of time. So if you want to do some vignettes of like mingling with the village,
I definitely want to like stealth around and like listen for rumors and stuff.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me let's start with you want to stealth around. So let's roll a stealth check. You're going to be sneakily, roll a stealth check first, and that'll determine how hard your eavesdrop is.
I have a thing in that, so I have to beat a 57.
All right. No. Okay. So you can still roll an eavesdrop test. They're just aware that you're there. So it's going to be
I was thinking more like rumoriness, but
okay, we can make it a rumor check, but it's going to be a hard rumor check, which means it's minus 20.
Gotcha. Okay. I have to 51 is what my number is.
So that's gonna be a 31.
That's cocked.
4. So you move through the village and people are aware you're there. But you've been around the Tatorian Peninsula, which is the area that you came from originally, a fair amount. You speak a bunch of different dialects of the language, so it's really easy for you to like figure out what they're speaking of. They just seem to be speaking like an older dialect of one of the ones you've heard. But they're talking like you don't understand what they're saying to a certain point. So you're able to listen into what you're saying. And at one point you determine one of them is whispering about like, Fernando never came back. Lorenzo sent him out and we don't know why. And he has not returned. It's been 2 days. Fernando's not the type to get lost in the jungle. I mean, it might have been a cat, but he's not. He's been here for so long. He knows how to maneuver. He knows how to track through the jungle. What do you? And there's this concern about this Fernando fellow who has, and you've been here for 2 days. It's been 2 days since you arrived. They were talking about someone's gone missing.
So would I assume that Fernando might have been one of the ones like they sent out looking for the Contessa then?
That would be a safe assumption to make.
Timeline.
You would connect those dots that like it's been 2 days since we came. They sent someone out. So you connect that. You make that connection. That person sent out and never came back.
Good. Yeah, just walking around trying to like.
And it is you hear a follow-up being like, have we sent anybody there? Do we know if it's safe? It's so soon. Do we know if it's safe? One person won't disrupt it. As long as we keep the rest of them calm, we'll be fine. That's what you determined.
Okay. Yes.
All right. That was yeah. So, all right.
Yes. I would definitely go chat up Goldie. And
Is anyone looking to socialize with the village?
Yes.
I'm going to socialize.
All right. So how about
The rake of the
Gala,
envoy, go
yeah.
fucking figure.
I'm going to see if they have any drink, of course, too. And
They do, it turns out.
ooh. And I'm going to actually use my talent, carousing. When I'm intoxicated, I get I'm a friendly drunk. So when I'm friendly, I gain a +10 base chance to charm tests. So
Excellent.
I'm going to see
Gala,
if I can't.
are you going with him? Are you two going out together?
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
So I was gonna say both of you are the more social, so I figured you might want to stick as a pack.
Yeah.
And I will, as we sort of walk towards the group, because I figure in a sort of village situation, we'd still be the outsiders, would still be sort of amongst ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and actively have to interact with them.
Yeah.
And now, given our last conversation, I might try and employ some form of deception.
Ooh.
So real quick, run me. What does the carouse thing do again?
So it gives me if I'm trying to charm, which I figure I'm kind of trying to be charming with these new people, it gives me a +10 to my base chance.
All right, so you're gonna
If I'm
charm and Gala's gonna deceive. All right, both roll me tests and let's see how you guys do.
I basically, if you don't have time to play it all out, what I want to do is like I'm quite interested in this whole, I want to buy those essential oils, basically.
All right. So you want to join.
Yeah.
All right, you're a joiner. And
Do you have a brochure?
all right. So roll me a deception check to convince them you want to be a joiner.
That is what is there deception as a skill as such?
I think there is. Let's take a look.
Because I haven't found it. Because
What do you have training in fellowship?
There's guile. Sorry, what did you say?
What do you have training in fellowship?
I only have
bubbles?
rumor, but I do have a bonus advance, so yeah.
Let's make it a guile.
Guile. So all in all, it would be 63, and I rolled a 40.
Okay, yeah. So you get deep into conversation about being interested, and the person reveals very little, but notes your interest and says, "I will make sure to tell Lorenzo about your interest in our."
I would try and go with Lorenzo, like the big.
Oh yeah. So Lorenzo then would be like,
"You don't go with a henchman. You never do."
I'm overjoyed to hear about your interest in our way of life, and I will keep this in mind.
You see, my dear husband used to be quite well versed in the various tribal cultures and various interesting artifacts of this world, and
I think you're going to fit in right at home here.
I must be completely honest with you. I couldn't help but overhear what you said to your associate earlier on. I'm worried.
Oh, Fernando? Yeah, no, don't concern yourself about that.
About the Contessa as well, that she
could
could find something. Do we have to?
Contessa? Question.
The woman.
Oh,
it's not the Fernando thing. It's the when
she
said,
was Contessa. My goodness, I didn't realize we had such lofty titled nobility on this island.
Yes.
We have not been able to locate her, which probably doesn't bode well for her on this island. Not island in this forest. It is quite feral. It can be quite dangerous. It is likely the forest has claimed her.
You are aware that she had an artifact on her?
Did she?
Apparently, I wouldn't know.
On her person or on the ship?
Huh. I'm not sure. I've never seen it.
He's like, just to be safe, I'll send somebody to check the ship.
Oh. Sure.
No, I will be sure to let you know what we find.
thank you. I might be able to help identify it. I used to help my husband a lot, you see.
I will.
And she shows him the little sort of the carvings on the walking stick.
Oh, yes. I think we will definitely have you take a look at whatever we find. And he calls someone over and, like, in a whisper, you hear him like, there might be an additional artifact on the ship. You should go search the ship. Take 3 other people. Make sure that you come back. And they head off. So you are now in the good graces of Lorenzo.
Wonderful. And I will return to Yannick and go, they said something about an additional artifact when nobody's listening. There might be more.
So
This is quite exciting.
You find Yannick like at a table drinking with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that sounds fascinating.
Get your voice down.
Oh.
Yannick, go ahead and just roll me a charm test with the person you're drinking with.
I rolled beforehand. Does that, or do you want me to roll
Give
again?
it to me.
It was a 16. So
16. So you guys get into your cups, and this person just kind of looks at you and goes, "Tell me," and this is Gala's back also. It's like, "Tell me, is Mariano still the Doge of Venisara? Is that idiot still in charge?" And like kind of leans over.
Oh, yes, he's that. Oh,
I need you to roll.
That scoundrel.
I need you to roll a
history or whatever.
There is no history here. I'm just discovering that.
Like folklore, maybe?
Yeah, let's go folklore.
Or education. Oh, wait, no. Folklore. Okay.
I don't want to hide this behind a flip to fail. This is too general knowledge. Gala, you can roll also. I'm going to say, actually, this is a plus 20. This is an easy test for both of you.
Plus 20?
Yeah.
What? Shit. I rolled an 89, so.
Oh, no.
I just discovered the local rum. I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't make it either. I got a 60.
Oh, no.
I needed a 60.
Yeah, so you just kind of BS them and like, oh yeah, no, yeah, totally. Neither of you have ever been to the Serene Republic of Venisara. Neither of you really know much about it. Other than they trade a bunch of stuff, whatever. So you guys kind of blow past that, and you get into now what angle of conversation do you want to bring up with him?
Kind of the artifact. Well, not really necessarily artifacts, but like what exactly is in this forest? Like what is good? Like what kind of
what good is in this forest?
Drugs? What kind of drugs or whatever else is? Yeah, the essential oils, as you would.
He says he's drank quite a bit. He's like, we have discovered a secret of life, my friend. You should stay. You would fit in wonderfully here.
Oh, you think so? Oh,
I mean, we're having yes. This is, and you see him just kind of like teeter in his chair, like this is so great. Like
what are the specifics of this way of life?
It does sound quite entertaining. Here, have some more.
He says, "Well, you rolled like a teens roll, right?"
Yeah.
He says, "You will live on, my friend. You will continue to live and live and live your life, and with no concern."
I mean, I have many a concern, but it seems like there's none here. So
he says, "We shipwrecked here on the Leighton so long ago, and now you can, with the mention of the Leighton, you can roll another folklore test."
Okay.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me? It's a 99. I forget my own name in this very moment.
I rolled a 69, which is still bad.
It's nice.
No, 69 is nice.
You got rerolls.
Yeah, you know what? I'll reroll.
All right.
Might as well blow through those, right?
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm gonna switch dice, actually.
Good idea.
Oh jeez. Oh, that's even worse. It's an 86 now.
Yeah. We shipwrecked here on the Leighton, and we were normal people trying to set up a trade post on this route, and we found something so much better than money and trying to scrabble for a living. And now we live a life of purpose and meaning.
You're such a tease, my friend. What did you find? Come on, tell us.
We will. In a few days, it'll be time, and we will take you there, and it'll be wonderful.
This sounds too good to be true. Is there no stipulation? No price to be paid?
There's always a price to be paid.
Okay.
And you see him just kind of like
I really
drink a little bit and be like, oh my goodness, it's been quite a night. And you guys look out and it's like 5 p.m.
I turn to Gal and I go,
just hammered. He is day drunk in the worst way.
I turn to Gal and I kind of go, I hope his promise of no concerns is true because I'm very concerned.
There's a lot of concerns to be had, my friend. Yes. Yes. These people messing with things they don't understand.
That's accurate. Let us away.
Real quick, did Dante or Goldie want to do anything in the village?
So most of the time, Dante will probably be sticking to her exercise routine.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys are kind of walking around, you'd occasionally see her armorless, so you can see the meat display. Doing push-ups, sit-ups, and doing like shadow sparring.
Right. Lots of Rocky preparing.
Yeah, you can almost
montage.
You can hear Eye of the Tiger playing in the background at all times. But she will also be kind of looking around and seeing, kind of gauging how battle ready this particular settlement is.
Do you have training in warfare?
No.
Oh, okay.
Or just like how heavily armed they are.
Make a scrutinized test, and it's going to be challenging.
Okay, fair enough. Scrutinize. As a 13.
13. You do notice that most of the people carry at least one concealed blade on them. Some of them more. Lorenzo carries a sword openly at times. And this appears to be a slightly more, and then they have the crossbows that you saw earlier. This seems to be a slightly more battle-ready group. And they do seem to like, when they move about you guys, they do seem to move in like, they spread out in ways that seem to like, they do seem to be like constantly encircling you guys in just strange, not intrusive ways, but also ready, like seemingly ready in case something goes wrong.
Okay. Are there any, aside from Lorenzo, that look to be like warriors?
No, but they all seem to be like fit and generally kind of living, maybe looking like they live kind of a harder life than this village seems to imply.
Okay. She will go to wherever Yannick is at his cups, come up behind him, lovingly smack him on the back as he sits down. I'm thinking these people are armed for something.
That is most assuredly true.
I've been keeping one eye out, at least. Seems like pretty much everyone has at least one blade on them.
That is more concerning. Though our friend, who I'm assuming is passed out now, our friend that we just made said that if we stay here forever, we won't have any concerns anymore. So perhaps that's
Wait, I mean forever.
That's kind of the gist.
Yeah, dangerous people.
I gather that.
Yeah, messing with things they do not understand.
Oh. It does seem to be that way. I don't know. I will fully admit I'm a meathead, but I'm not sitting too easy either.
Goldie, are you doing anything in the village?
I think that Goldie always wants to be aware of where Dawntail is. So whatever Dawntail's doing exercise montages or or inspecting the weaponry of the village, Goldie is always like around a corner, just like trying to track her. But when she goes into this room with the drinking, Goldie would sort of use that as an excuse to enter and group up with the rest of folks. But mostly Goldie is just sort of recovering and just trying to get a bead on this town and figure out what's going on underneath the surface. Though probably not any more successful at it than the other folks are.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys continue to mingle for like a few days, gathering not much more information, just cryptic hints and odd notes of like older cultural cues than you're used to here. And after about a week here, about 5 days, in the small hours of the night, you are all awakened. Well, okay, let's start with all of you but Lydia are awakened by hands grabbing a hold of you, forcing arms behind your back, bounding you. We're going to skip the rolls for time's sake.
Sure.
Bounding you and dragging you out. Lady Gala.
Yes.
You are woken by a gentle hand on your shoulder. And you see Lorenzo's face, and he says,
Oh,
if you
yes.
truly wish to join our way of life, please come with me.
No, of course. I'm sorry. I was just having a strange dream.
It's quite all right. It's time, you see. And you step out and you come out into the square of the village and you see your friends bound, arms behind their back, all being held. Dawntail is like thrashing, throwing horns about.
Yeah,
And
she's not happy.
Yeah.
She's not a happy goat.
I thought we were friends. We had drinks together.
You see them go, we are friends, but you see, a price has to be paid. And Lorenzo says, please, come. And they lead you down into the jungle. And you move through the jungle, torchlight leading your way. And you come into a ruined village, just a stack of ruins. And past it is a old stone ziggurat with an opening in it. And they drag you all through the village. And I need everyone to roll me I think it would still actually, this would be an awareness test.
Out of curiosity, do we have our normal gear and we're just...
Yeah, we're just going to, for convenience sake, we're going to say you guys all have it.
Fair enough.
Okay, I needed.
That is a 6.
That is a 9.
I'm
Together.
going to use a reroll.
Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot.
Because I should succeed at this, and I didn't. Even worse.
I got a 32.
So those of you who succeeded, you see shapes moving just out of sight in the ruins and in the village, moving in strangely disjointed, jerky movements that you recognize. But seemingly also, the people leading this procession do not notice them as they move towards the ziggurat. And as you move towards it, Gala, you're at the front with Lorenzo. And as the light from the torches moves forward and forward and forward, at the mouth of the ziggurat, the light reveals the bottom of a black set of robes. And they come up and you see the Contessa standing there at the front of the ziggurat. her veil's still down, and that is when the attack comes, and creatures come out from the sides, and it is quickly, again, for convenience sake, since we're running a little long. These undead creatures do not kill; they simply grab. And now you guys are still bound and being dragged, but the captors are also being dragged inside, Gala included in them. You are brought into the main room of this ziggurat as the Contessa pulls back her veil, and you see a shriveled, mummified face.
That's not good.
Lorenzo is brought forth, and he's forced down to his knees. And she says, Lorenzo, it's so good to see you again. It's been too long since you threw me out, cast me aside because I wanted to learn more. And she laughs and says, I was right, you fool. This, and she points to, you see a floating piece of black obsidian that Gala, you immediately recognize. And she says, that is a shard of the black pyramid of the gilded pharaoh, you fool. You were using it for eternal youth. She goes, it is the key to godhood. And you see that there are a series of jars have been set up around it. And she says, and it is your souls that will allow me. And you see she pulls a blade and she casually slits his throat as she walks by him. It says, to ascend. And Lorenzo, gasping, collapses on the ground and begins to convulse. And you see the jars begin to glow. And she says, bring forth the next one. And another villager is pulled up. And it is at this point that you guys can attempt to escape.
I will try and say, Contessa.
She looks, oh?
The gilded pharaoh does not take commands of a mere mortal.
She goes, I am no longer a mere mortal, and soon I will stand with the pharaoh. She looks at you and says, you know the pharaoh.
I know him well, and he knows me.
Flicks her wrist and slits the next throat and just like walks right by the dying man and like walks right up to you and says, leans down, and you get like this, her face is a horror show. And she says, what do you know of the pharaoh?
I will. Am I still sort of being held at all?
She'll like the two creatures holding you will like release you, and you can stand up now. You're not bound.
I will walk up to one of the other villagers that are being held down. And I'll look at her and say, I know enough. I didn't think you would. And I take a blade out of my cane and slit the villager's throat.
Ooh. So the villager collapse, and you see the jars glow.
We might have something in common.
We may yet. She goes, the gilded pharaoh is gone. I intend to replace him. You could make a high priestess.
Well, I've always looked good in flowing robes.
Yes. Would the rest of you like to try to do something? Wow.
Dontail is like muttering under her breath, I am going to pull out your liver through your eyeballs.
Dontail, would you like to try to break your bonds?
I would, actually.
Roll me an athletics check. And I'm going to say at this point in the night, they're getting a little worn, a little loose. So this is going to be a routine check for you.
Okay, that is athletics for 55. That's a 50.
A 50? You snap these off. And you are now free They were not really holding you with either of the two zombies. There are a few. There's the. I was gonna say there's like your party mates. Would you like to try to free one of them?
Oh yeah, she draws her sword and just whoosh, cuts through the bonds.
All right, whose bonds are you cutting through?
She's going to cut through Goldie's first.
Goldie, you feel a blade pass between your wrists. You are now free.
Okay,
that was a good idea.
I assume that I'm unarmed.
You can have all your equipment for convenience.
Oh boy! Oh great.
Otherwise, you'll
Goldie's kind of dumbfounded at this turn, and just the first thing that he's going to do is look at Dante and he's going to say, "This is a fight. We cannot win. We need to get the others and get out of here."
Or you could join us.
The Contessa turns to Gala and says, "I only need about 4 more." And then she turns to the zombie and says, "You may eat the rest."
They're magnificent fighters. I've seen them.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of villagers there. So they start dragging a couple of the villagers forward. And the zombies start advancing towards the rest of the party.
No, I will genuinely try and persuade her to keep these folks alive.
Okay.
And try and see them as, helpful assets. And
That
give the
was
villagers a
so nice
sacrifice
of you.
instead.
We'll move to initiative with them going last, but on your turn you can attempt to persuade her.
Oh, while this is going on, could Nyx you try and get to her stiletto to cut her wrists?
I'm gonna say that'll be trying to get out will be a special action point.
Okay.
So we'll move to it. So you get your first. Han always shoots first, so you can use an action point to try to slit your own things and go for your pistol that's hidden on your person.
I'm gonna do that. That's good because I needed to beat a 62 and I got a 58.
All right, so you slit you get your stiletto, cut your ropes, and you know where your pistol's hidden.
I'm grabbing my
shot, am I not?
pistol.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call shot the Contessa in the head.
Ooh, all right. So you may go for a shot on the Contessa. Where are her stats?
35 out of 62.
35 out of 62. That hits.
And
Roll damage. Remember, gunpowder explodes on 6s and on 1s.
yes. And I rolled a 6.
So you get to roll again.
And I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
And another 1. And now I'm grabbing more dice. Okay. So 6, 10, 13 plus 4 is, or no, 13. Yeah, plus 4 is 17.
17. That moves her 1 track down to lightly wounded.
Oh no. Oh no.
You take a chunk and you see her veil fly back, and it reveals again a shriveled, mummified body, and it flops back into place. That was 2 action points. You have 1 more.
I used that was just my bonus one because I used the first action point to cut my bonds and then used 2 for the called shot.
So that's all your ones. All right. Excellent. Gala, you may attempt to talk to the Contessa.
And can I talk while I did that and be like,
you can shout something to your team.
Yeah, I think Gala, should be more than a high priestess.
Fucking twists and roundabouts here.
Yeah, that was my thing. Fuck, who do you think you are going to be a god? No, we're going to take you out.
All right. So now,
that changes what I might be doing. Fuck off, Nyx. Can I first scrutinize to see if Nyx is just trying to get her ass out of this? Look at me going full Scottish at this point. Or if I don't fucking know anymore. Personalizing, I want to see what's happening here. That's a 5.
I am legit like think we've got better odds with you than whatever the fuck that is. So I'm like, yeah, let's take her out and like Gala can, yeah.
So Gala, what are you doing?
Yeah. How
Joyce?
badly is the Contessa hurt after that shot?
Not very at all.
She's, yeah, I think he said she's lightly wounded.
I will whisper in her ear as a sort of worm tongue situation rather than a fucking shanker because I can't because fucking old. Okay, look at them. Look at their fever. Look at their spirit. To sacrifice them would be a waste.
Roll a charm test, and since she's only lightly wounded, I'm going to make it a standard test, so 0% plus minus. So
Yeah,
do your test.
63 is my target.
Lydia, use that reroll.
I will, because that was a 64. Oh, that's a 13.
Says, perhaps some of them will be useful. She goes, though one of them seems quite intent on killing me. And she looks at Nyx and goes, which one? She looks at the Grendel and goes, that one, bring me that one alive. She points at Nyx and says, that one will reshape. We'll break down for parts. And she then turns around and uses one of her action. Oh, well, no, it's not her turn. By the way, she's going to be killing 4 more people to ascend to essentially like, goddom here, a higher state of lichdom. So you guys got 4 rounds of combat to figure out what you're doing before she becomes all powerful. So this is the first round. It is now Nyx's turn. There are 2, I'm going to go with, there's 2 animated corpses that are actually taking you guys on, and the rest are handling the villagers and dragging them forward to be executed.
Do it, Chai. You know you want to.
Well, my pistol's out, so I would have to stab her.
So you are going to move, you can use a full action point to move up to her.
Now you said that there were
2 animated corpses that are like moving towards you guys. They're locked in on you currently because she indicated you as the one to break down for parts.
Yeah, she don't like me so much. But you said there were also like jars and shit, and like the jars glowed.
Yes, that's behind her. That would be like 3 full move actions to get to.
Okay.
And there's a large but like carryable shard of obsidian behind it that is the shard of the black pyramid. I'm gonna call that's what we're going with.
Yeah, I think I can't do much. I'm just gonna go and stab her.
All right, so you're gonna
stabbing her is fun.
So as you to be clear, you're gonna have to move past 2 zombos to get to her.
Okay, then
there's like 2 zombos coming at you.
Okay, I'm gonna go for one of the zombos then.
All right, so you go for one of the zombos. No,
I'm gonna re-roll.
Ooh, all right. I think that's all your re-rolls then. I think that's the last one.
Okay, that's better. 46
46
out of 62.
Roll damage.
Okay. 9.
9 damage?
Yes.
Very nice. I believe that is definitely 1 track. I'm flipping between pages now. That's 1 track. That is just under 2 tracks. So that's 1 track. That one is now lightly wounded. Dante, you're free, and you've been told that you get to live so long as you serve the new goddess.
Well, see, that's the thing. the very next lines on the writ of blood and sand, which she will growl at the Contessa. My blade will ring out for the glory of kings and bring justice to the wicked.
I like it. You going after one of the zombos? So if you, I did forget to mention this on the last one, but there's the maneuver ability. If you get close, though, that's more AP than you can spend for the most part because they take a move action. You could get by them on this turn and then get her next turn.
I think I'm going to do that.
All right. So you like run up and they both like brace to get you. And then you like kind of give them like a fake out and like spin move past them. And the zombies, so they like look where you moved and you spin move. And then there's just like, and you're.
Got Juce. Got Juce.
2 action points?
That's 2 action points to maneuver and 1 to move your full speed.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Goldie. We'll say that you grab a bow off one of the other people who's like now dead.
Sure. I pick up one of these bows and
Gala will mouth, Goldie, please, at you.
Goldie sort of looks up and tries to read the situation, and he sees his friend Nix, and he sees his quarry, Dawntail. He sees a cat in front of the camera.
He woke up from his nap on my
Yeah.
desk.
Yeah. And he looks at Gala, and then he sees how that the Contessa is. I mean, that shot barely injured her at all either. Takes his bow, loads it, draws it, and he aims at Nix and fires.
What?
Oh, all right, roll attack.
He's got to flip to fail
He does have to flip to fail. It's a ranged attack.
because I am pint-sized.
Love it.
Yes.
I love it. He fails. He shoots it's an 83 and with flip. and so I like dials in on her and just like he closes his eyes before he lets go and misses entirely.
All right. That was
But appears to have chosen his side.
So you have 1 action point left.
He reloads.
He reloads. All right.
With his bow.
All right. So the zombies are going to go. But before that, the Contessa is going to kill her next victim, which is going to be one of her action points. And then she is going to use transfixing gaze on she likes Dawntail. She's going to use it on Dawntail. So I need you to roll a resolve test.
Okay, I actually do have a dot in that, and I'm very glad I took it. I've been rolling that a lot today. Resolve that is looking for 51. 79.
You get lost in this gaze. It is terrifying. It is horrifying. The world shrinks to it, and you lose all your action points for a round as you come up on her.
Darn.
So next up, the zombies are going to attack Nix. First one is going to hit you. And that is going to be 9 damage.
My threshold is 5.
So you drop 1 level to lightly wounded.
Okay.
The other, it's going to try to take you down. So its coordination is terrible, but I'm using one of the rerolls that you guys gave me for that.
Oh yeah, he's got the
It literally ties. So you have to roll a coordination test. And if you make it at all, you resist.
I needed a 47. I got a 42.
All right. So that actually is pretty much the same. So I'm going with the tiebreakers. It tied. You beat it by a few points. So you resist the takedown. The other one is going to try to attack you. That one hits. So you are going to take another. Ooh, this is exploding. That's 8, 13 damage.
Ooh, that takes me down.
Did we skip Janik?
Possibly.
All right, we'll give you a double turn then.
So does
Okay.
that take me down 2?
What's the second number next to it?
Because I start with 5, so the +6 gives me 11, and then +12 is 17.
So yeah, you go down 2.
Okay. So
I think. How much damage did I say? Jeez.
You said 13.
Yeah, so you go down 2. So you go from lightly wounded, you are now seriously wounded. So roll 2d6.
Okay.
And report 6s.
1 6 and 1 1.
1 6. All right. This is on seriously. Roll me a D100.
Okay. 5.
5. You have Fortune's Mercy. You take no injury at all. So low is good on the injury chart. All right. That's their turn. We're going Janik, you're getting a double turn.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna try to, I guess, weasel my way out of the bonds.
Roll an attack test on the bonds to see if you can a combat test.
Okay. What's that? 53? Is that 53? No, I needed a 40. Yeah. So it does not work.
The bonds are still holding. Would you like to try to get out in a different way? Can you think of a separate way to get out?
Yeah, let's see here. Oh, my brawn is terrible.
You can give it a try. You can just try to break them.
Yeah, I'll try to break it.
I'm going to say it's a routine test, so +10.
+10?
I gave that same thing to John Tail.
Oh, that's a 20. So yeah, I made it.
Yeah, so you snap out of it. So now you've got essentially 4 action points left.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've kind of watched the situation unfolding in front of me. Just kind of you know what? I am not a fan of this cult. I'm not a fan of what's going on here. I think I'm sad that my friends are all fighting each other. And I see that the problem is the black thing that's floating in the air.
All right.
I feel that is the problem. So I'm going to try and solve the problem by using my gun. But I'm going to use 2 action points to take aim at it.
All right. So you're going to take aim. So that takes 20% off, or that adds 20% to your martial ranged attack. So you have a really good chance of hitting.
Okay. So
your gun?
Yep. Gun. And that is going to be... Oh, that's sad. 92. So yeah, no.
All right, no, it fires and it goes wide.
That
so that's 3 action points. You have 1 left.
I'm gonna pull out my handkerchief and go parlay.
All right, Gala, it's your turn.
All right. Is there a way I can fucking showgirls that bitch down the stairs and take her place? And if you didn't get that reference, probably for the better.
Give it a go. What do you want?
Right.
What are you going to try to do to her?
Well, I don't think I can just kill her with the way she's been shrugging off most things.
Can I ask a question here? So is the proximity to the shard here what gives the power? You know,
that's gonna take that would take
I'm happily gonna scrutinize the situation to see what's the deal.
Yes. Give me I'm gonna say that given your cultist background, you can take your intelligence and it's going to be a easy test, so plus 20% because you know this sort of thing. Dawntail, by the way, I missed one of her things I missed. You take 15 peril from her enticing gaze.
Okay.
She is messing with your head badly.
Okay, that goes past the +6 bit.
So you're second level of peril?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
rolled it. Sorry.
You ignore one skill rank now. You have -10 to all checks, basically.
All right.
All right.
So I rolled a 39. I need a 54 or 44.
A
54 or
44?
44. I'm not sure which one because I don't have a bonus advance, but I do have one from my race. So I'm not sure if
So,
that works. But
the best you
either
can
way, I
tell,
did it.
Based on this, there's a ritual occurring here that
Yeah.
appears to be it appears that she is storing souls in these jars, that she is building up a soul collection essentially to use in some sort of further ritual, bringing in the black shard. So it's about her killing people. It's about the black shard. So the jars matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is, can I sort of transfer that to me rather than
You
just
might be
stopping
able
it?
to if you got some time without her and the jars and the shard, you could potentially
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna go for the shard.
Ooh. So, what are you trying to? Are you trying to like grab the shard and harness its power?
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, what will you?
Tell me what to roll. I will roll it and
Oh my God.
try.
Roll me. Ooh. What would this be? Roll me. Go ahead and roll your roll. What are you trained in willpower? This would be a resolve. It's going to be a resolve test. You are grabbing it and trying to harness its power. You were like trying to.
I have points in resolve.
Yeah, you're trying to bend it to your will. Roll me a resolve test.
So
This
that's
is going to be a
69 I have to hit. And I rolled a 64. I mean,
So you now feel energy flowing into you, and you see her head just whip around at you.
you are not worthy.
So this is interesting. We're going to continue on. I'm going to figure out how this is going to work. But this
Oh,
So, Nyx, you have zombies attacking you as there's a battle for godhood / lichdom going on right now.
Which is true.
Someone's trying to be Vecna.
Yeah.
I'm a generous goddess. Happy hour from
How
2 till
far
6.
Away.
You have my vote.
are How far away are the jars?
The jars are they're about they're about 16 yards. It's like 2 move actions. You also have 2 zombies right up on you.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm hurt as shit.
I'm gonna say with also just for future while you're figuring out Dawntail, her mesmerizing gaze is broken now that she is fixated on Galia.
Oh, goody.
Or Gala, sorry. So
Sorry.
Nyx,
I mean, Gala will wink at you a little. Don't you?
Okay.
you can maneuver to step away from them without incurring an opportunity attack.
2.
But then you
And then I wouldn't be able to get to where I want to go. Oh, fuck. I'm just can't get mad. I'm going to stab the zombo that
Do it.
is immediately at me.
roll an attack. If you want, you can try a dirty trick first to then make them more susceptible to damage.
I rolled the 32 already. I already rolled it, so.
Do you want to do that? Do you want to knock them down so they're easier to hit and more damage? Because you can go in any order.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So shockingly, it doesn't make its coordination test, and I'm not re-rolling that. 'Cause it's
Okay.
terrible. So you knock this down, and now you can try to stab it while it's on the ground.
Yeah, I rolled a 32, which definitely succeeds.
So you get to roll 2d6 now.
Okay. 12 damage.
12 damage. That moves it 2 steps down. It is now grievously wounded. It is really bad. And I got to roll 3d6 to see if it's injured. Hey, I rolled an injury.
I get to roll an extra d6
Do it.
because stilettos are vicious.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I got 2 5s.
2 5s. You drive your blade right into its eye and twist, and it like spasms and then stops moving. That is one re-deaded corpse.
And
right.
then I'm going to use my third point to move towards the jars.
All right. The other one's gonna take a swipe at you. It's gonna miss. I'm gonna re-roll that with the re-rolls you guys were so nice to give me. It hits you for 9 damage.
That's just 1 degree.
All right.
So
it's
that
gonna try
moves
to
me to
grapple you.
Grievous.
That is a big miss. I'm gonna use another re-roll.
Well, the
No miss.
1 degree took me down to Grievous.
Oh, you're at seriously or grievous?
I was it seriously, and you said 9 points, which my threshold is 5.
So you're grievous?
Yeah.
Roll me 3d6.
Two 6s.
2 6s.
Oh no!
I think only one. You only assess one. So go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Well, let's only assess one because there's not that. So go ahead and roll me D100.
14.
14. Oh man, this thing, its hand drives into your leg and like into your hamstring, and you now have a butchered leg condition. You cannot move. You are like hobbled down on the ground, and you are now you permanently lose 9% in agility. Oh no, that's if you failed surgery. Never mind. You cannot move without assistance.
Okay.
So sorry about that, but you are
Can I
not
like commando crawl?
you can move half. Let's say you can move half your movement commando crawling away from this thing.
Fair.
Do you guys see a halfling just like crawling away from one of these zombies that's just like ripped a chunk out of her leg?
Oh.
Dante, you are free.
Okay. How close am I to the Contessa?
You're right in her face.
Right in her face? Oh, so she's looking at Gallo,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
Okay. So first
If
thing
you wanted to
she's
charge, you could be slightly further away.
yeah. So, oh boy, she's got some ethical dilemmas. She's going to, since the Contessa was good enough to turn around, she's going to take the basket hilt of her mortuary sword and attempt to basically beat her in the back of the head for a stunning strike.
All right, roll your athletics, I believe, and I do resist. Yeah.
Uh, 37.
She rolled. So how many levels of success is that for you?
For me, without the athletics, that would be 1, I think.
1. She rolled 1 also. So we'll say tie goes to you. So she rocks forward and seems taken aback and like out of sorts. So you now have a stunned opponent.
Okay, so no
She loses 1 AP, right?
Are we on top of the pyramid? Just
you guys are underneath it. You are in
underneath.
the ziggurat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she will take another point to stab her in the back.
All right.
So for that is 40. Which, funnily enough, I think hits.
All right. Roll damage.
Okay. Yep. Even with the reduction, that hits. Is 10.
10 damage. That does not move her down.
Darn. Worth a shot.
So, Goldie.
Goldie. Just to be clear, Goldie is Team Gala. So Goldie is going to step between Gala and the Contessa, and he's going to attack the Contessa with his bow. He's gonna fire off a shot at her.
Go ahead.
That is 56, which is a success.
Roll damage.
All right. That's a D6. That's a 4 plus. It's 9 damage against the Contessa.
Does not move her down.
Yeah, but it feels good.
It does feel good. So there's one zombie left. I feel like Janik is the closest one to it at this point.
Yeah. So Janik's gonna drop pretty much just look at his firearm and just go just drop it and then pull out the stiletto.
Barely hits. Do you have an action point banked?
Yeah.
I would roll a parry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. No, go for it. I was just saying, like, this thing barely succeeded.
Right.
I'm rolling consistently 1 and 2 under their
point.
I
gotcha. Yeah, that's a 6.
All right, yeah, you easily bat this thing aside. Speaking of Janik, it is the Contessa, she loses her, I'm gonna say stunned. She loses action points. She's going to move towards Gala, but she's not going to be able to do anything because of the stunning strike. She moves away from Dawntail completely contemptuously. For a free, no action point action, you can take an opportunity attack.
I will take that.
You go ahead and roll an attack.
40 something. 30.
30? You hit. Roll damage.
Right. Charge the 6. 9.
9. Not enough.
No.
She is, as you guys keep hitting her, and it's just like pieces of her come off, and she just doesn't care.
Any fury dice that we can get some way?
You can call your shot and make your shot harder and add an extra fury dice. She moves towards you, but you are unable to do anything as she's clearly coming forward to try to contest this, but she is stunned, so she can't on this round. So seems like Gala's gonna get this one for free. But first, Janik, it is your turn. You have a zombie in your face.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna knock this zombie down first.
All right. It rolled a 92.
Sweet. So, and that's is that agility? Coordination? Yeah. Coordination. Okay.
Coordination.
I got a 31.
31. It is knocked down. You may attack it now.
Sweet. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stab it with my stiletto. That's a 15.
15. That hits.
Yeah. Nice.
So go ahead and roll 2d6 because it's on the ground.
Ooh. I got a 6. So that's okay. 10, 11, and 16.
16 damage. That moves it down multiple slides. I believe that's 3 slides. It goes to seriously wounded all in one go. It takes a wound. I'm going to look that up later. We'll just say for one of its arms comes off because this is a zombie. You just like slash out and one of its arms comes off. It now loses like an action point for, because most of the other ones are like ongoing life things for PCs and like,
right.
This is a zombie. It loses an action point. It now can do one thing a turn. So, Gala, you feel power flooding into you as you are holding on to this, and the power of these souls are going into you. You are getting a plus 10% to everything.
Nice. Angus would be so proud.
You feel that you're pulling it away from the Contessa. You feel that she is getting weaker.
She does not deserve this.
For game mechanic sense, she is now easier to move down her damage threshold track as she's being pulled out. But you guys do notice that Gala, like her skin is starting to pull a little tight, like she's getting like really dehydrated.
Uh-oh.
Nyx.
I'm going to spend my entire turn reloading my pistol.
All right, you were like frantically reloading your pistol.
Yeah, like I can't really
that's
move,
fine.
so I'm gonna lay here in the dirt and reload my gun.
Dawntail.
Yep. Okay, back to me.
She's close enough that you can move up and hit her. You could charge her.
Show her the justice you want to show her.
She's gonna charge.
All right, so roll your attack.
Please work. Where did I put the damn thing? It's there. It's there. Oh, that's not the right one. I have way too many die. This is a problem.
Too many dice is never a problem.
31.
31. I'm assuming that hits for you.
It does. Yeah.
Roll 2d6.
Okay. A 2 and a 6.
Ooh, roll that 6 again.
And another 4.
So what's that put you at total?
So that's in 12. 17.
17. That now moves her down 2 tracks. So she goes right by moderately wounded, and she is now seriously wounded. She does not take an injury, but she is now looking really, really beat up.
Mortuary Sword is a vicious, so there's one more.
She didn't take an injury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So with all the dice there? Okay.
No, I rolled 2. I don't roll injuries, apparently.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Like, this is statistically unusual how few 6s I'm rolling.
All right.
But I'm also not rolling them on damage, so that's good too.
That's fair. Yeah.
So now, Goldie.
Yeah. So Goldie sees her waning a little bit. And his last idea is that maybe her proximity to this shard is keeping her powered up. And so he's going to try to charge her and push her away from it with his girth.
So let's roll essentially I think there's a push in.
A takedown?
Yeah, let's just do a takedown.
Now, I do have a trait that says that I can use my ranged weapon to do a takedown. It doesn't inflict damage, but it knocks them down.
Do it.
Okay, great. I'm going to do a ranged attack then. Again, I am looking for a 58, and that's a 42.
There you go.
So I take the bow, and I just one of her knees. She takes an arrow in the knee.
Used to be a lich.
Used to be a lich. She failed her test. I'm gonna try a reroll.
Sure. Yep.
She failed it even worse. So I'm gonna say that fate has determined that she's going down. I rolled a 90 on that one. Oof. So you are shooting her in the knee, and she's like buckling down, and she's like reaching up for this black shard, and she's now down on one knee.
And I'm hoping she tumbles down these steps, and it's hard to it's a ziggurat, right? So we're on steps sort of, and so she's sort of losing her balance.
Ooh, let's see. No, she manages to save it. She's still right next to Gala, but she is now down and is gonna have to get all the way back up to try to grab that.
Awesome. Great. That's the knee. That's end.
What she's going to do, she's not going to be able to get all the way up to contest her, but she's going to try to grab Gala and pull her away from it. So she's going to try to make a takedown test on Gala. Gala, you get a +10 to this. It is a coordination test. She just succeeded, on the nose.
Gala?
I'm sorry, I was muted.
No, it's all right. She has grabbed a hold of you and is trying to pull you away from this because she can't contest it. She's like grabbing you while she's on the ground, trying to yank you away. I need you to roll a coordination test at +10.
Fair. No.
So you lose contact with this object. You still have the power contained within you, but you are no longer drawing from it.
I can't react to any of that, can I? Do I have a
on your turn? You could. Yeah, you got to.
I don't know.
On your turn, you can try to reestablish contact with it.
I just want to stab her from underneath into the head, like.
All right. On your turn, you can stab her. And then the zombie's going to attack Janik.
Okay.
It hits. Do you have a point to parry?
I knocked it down. Yeah, I think I do because
Yeah, you do. You have 1 point.
Yeah, so
it has 1 level of success.
Okay. That is a 48 under my 50. So
you have 1. All right, so you parry it. Janik, it is now your turn. Do you want to finish this thing off? It didn't get up. It only attacked you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna stab it
you
again.
get +20 to hit this thing. I'm saying it's easy.
Stabby. So about that. You said +20? Yeah,
yeah.
I have 50. I rolled a 74. So
you just want to move away from it?
Yeah, I'll move away from it.
All right. You have 2 points action. I will say you maneuver, so you move 1 yard, but you don't incur an opportunity attack.
Okay.
All right. Gala, you have 3 action points. I'm going to say 2 to establish connection with this thing. So you could spend 1 to stab at her just to get her away from you.
We'll establish connection and then stab her.
All right. So roll resolve test, but you get an additional +10 for the power that you've already got.
I mean, that's a 37, and I'm sure I have more.
Yeah, you have more
resolve because I have a point in that as well. So yeah. Good.
You feel the power surge into you again. You now get +20%. She looks even weaker.
I will genuinely try and do the stab from underneath in the chin for the skull. I don't know if she's at that point, but hey, we'll find out.
This is going to be... Ooh, what'd you get?
I rolled a 12.
Ooh, roll damage. She's on the ground, so you get an extra D6.
How many D6s is that? Just 2?
2. Yeah.
That's a 4 and a 5.
So how much is that total?
Plus the combat bonus, right?
Yes.
So 4 and 5, 9, 13.
So you take this and you bend down. Do you have anything to say to her?
As I feel the reassurance from the Gilded Pharaoh whispering in my ear that this is what I was meant to do, the confidence turns into a very sweet old lady smile. Oh, you really thought you'd be the one. You really thought this was your place. It's not. It never was. It was always mine. And then I stab her through the chin.
Drive it up, and there's this huge flash of mortuary fire in her eyes that then immediately flees into the jars, which flash full, and all of it flies into you. You guys see immediately her skin pull dry and mummify before you, and you, Gala, feel a surge of power as you become a defiler. You become an undead wizard. Yeah, you become a embodiment avatar of the Gilded Pharaoh, and you feel the power. And many the villagers start to collapse, those that were still alive, as their souls are pulled from their body, and you feel control over this. Do you spare your friends from this effect?
Oh, yeah, bitch. I'm going to roll a die.
Oh.
And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Unless it's a 69.
Yeah, because that's like the rules. I don't make the law. I do.
All right. So as we are going to,
Can I-
all see
Okay.
souls pulled out from you as this aura begins to glow about your new goddess as she stands before you, all powerful, sparing your lives in the heart of what is going to be the center of your new religion as we fade to black on this adventure, as we've started a new gilded pharaoh cult around a...
I told you I'm a generous god.
Hey,
Holy
I just
crap,
want to throw
guys.
this out there. Who made it possible?
You know, that
Yeah,
being in
actually.
the back of the head really helped.
So we went over.
I was there.
I had a super good time with you guys. So let's go around one more time where we can find everybody, and then we'll call it a night, starting with our new goddess of undeath, Lydia.
So when you came to me with literally the first, I think it was one of the first messages we've ever had on Discord saying, "Hey, do you want to be evil?" I did not think that this would happen, but it did, and I'm loving it.
I was looking at it and I'm like, man, this adventure would fit perfectly if there was like a cultist hidden in the party. And I'm like, who, Lydia, you want to be evil?
Yeah, my inner edgelord has never been happier. Like I'm that bitch that keeps playing warlocks, so this is exactly what I'm here for. And I loved it. Thank you so much, Tom. You're
That
a
was so
wonderful
much
GM.
fun.
And thank everyone else as well for indulging my stupid power fantasy there. And thanks. I'm Lydia. I'm half-housed hermit all over, mostly on Twitter, and more importantly on Discord, where you can find me in the Encounter Roleplay server, where I'm modding and ticking and also GMing in the mid-season. I'm doing a D&D game there. We just cast our players. It's going to be super RP heavy, and it's going to be fun. And yeah, look for that on my Twitter if you're interested, if you want to see more of that, although I might not be that evil goddess lich person, but it's going to be very Pratchett. It's going to be very Ankh-Morpork based on Edinburgh. So if you've ever been to Scotland, you might find yourself in a familiar town, because if George R. R. Martin can steal from fantasy, from Scottish history, so can I.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm rambling now. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
I'm super excited for that short season, by the way. That's going to be super cool. Chai.
Hi, I am Girly Chai. You can find me there on Twitter. I hang out in Encounter Roleplay's Twitch chat frequently and cry and scream at all the fruits. And on occasion, I guest play some Pathfinder 2E on Roll the Rolls Twitch channel. And you should check everyone out because they're awesome. And I can't wait to get more streaming games and fun shenanigans, even though I now have no legs.
You have no leg. Your legs will be replaced by your new goddess. They will be better.
I won't have bow legs anymore.
And there will be cats.
Legs.
There will be cats.
So many
And
cats.
there will be so many cats and no more bow legs. And he's gonna run away instead of getting kitty cammed.
I had my door closed, so my cat didn't make an appearance, but totally whatever. Steve.
Hey, so I do kind of lurk over at Encounter Roleplay, usually under Steve or Steve with a B, because apparently my friend knew too many Steves, so we needed some method of differentiation. This was fun as heck. Probably first new role-playing method I've had in a while. Presumably Daunt Hill is going to be a new Death Knight, but you never know.
This world is just coming together in my head, and I have a whole group of potential villains now.
You know that scene in Ragnarok when Hela goes, "I need an executioner."
Yeah.
This is very true. I kind of lurk around various Discord channels, but you can also find me on Mimics and Monstrosities Sundays, usually around like 9:30 Central Standard Time, where I play Saffrin von Brandt, the tiefling alchemist who is trying very hard to keep her friends alive because they keep kind of dying.
Only kind of dying.
Kind of dying. It's ephemeral in hell.
So, Justin.
There we go. Hey, I want to echo what everybody else said, and this was a blast. Like the Zweihander system was a lot of fun, and Tom, you did such a great job, and it was engaging and fun, and all of you were a lot of fun to play with. I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitter and also in certain Discord channels and Twitch chats and YouTube chats, and now in the Master of the RPG chat Discord also. So you'll see me around there, and I just had a great time. Thank you guys. Thanks.
Talon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. For first time, this was amazing. And you were, such a good GM. And what a twist, by the way. I have to say I'm kind of a lurker as well. In the encounter roleplay. Talon Snake, Twitch. I haven't done a lot, but I'm planning on doing more. I do a lot of like video game stuff, so catch me there, I guess, and on Talon anywhere pretty much, and you'll find me. So, but yeah, no, it was a fantastic time, and what a ride, and hopefully Janik doesn't die a horrible death now.
He's gonna be issuing horrible deaths. I mean, like, you guys are death now.
True, fair enough.
I am Tom TP Grant. First of all, I am a player here on this channel on Wednesdays on the Forgotten Throne. I play Renmore, the formerly enthusiastic warrior who lost a foot in his first fight and is now a very reflective warrior cleric. I also, the Discord for Master the Game, very active, so please join that. I'm also a mod over at Encounter Roleplays Discord, so also join that if we want to hang out with all these fine people. And the key to good GMing, guys, is have good players and just give them space to do stuff, because this was incredible, and you guys were awesome. So thank you so much, and have a good night.
Bye-bye.